This land is calling.
Hello everybody and welcome to King of Art, our special piece here at Fatal Fury at the Esports World Cup 2025. And look, we have to have a bit of fun because there's artwork when you're watching the players that are actually competing. There's another piece when we kind of, well, you'll know in a sec. We're going to be drawing, but they have no idea what we're going to be drawing. And the way it goes is I'm going to give you a prompt. Actually, you will pick it yourself, and it's a character from the game. You're going to have to draw it in your own style.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to put this down. Go for it. Pick one.
Oh, this one.
Xiao Hai.
Oh, man.
Okay. Oh, pick. So you have 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
2 minutes.
We'll make it quick.
Pens down. First up with Chris Hokutomaru. Could you please just show it to me first?
All right. This is amazing.
Oh, man, that's not bad. It's better. It's good. That was
He's
good.
eating a churro. Okay, can you show it to a beautiful camera here? What is he saying?
He's saying I learned something. I don't know why he says that, but he says that when he fights Kane.
So that's our first prompt. Xiao Hai, what was your prompt?
My prompt is
Terry in a truck.
I try my best.
And that is worth a lot. So it's your turn.
Yeah, it is my turn. All right.
What was your prompt?
My prompt is kind on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, so let me show you.
Actually,
All right, here we go. Look at that.
this is
That's a big old headed kind right there.
so motorcycle, long pretty face, hair.
Long hair, long
Yeah,
face.
long hair.
I mean,
You know, his hair's flowing in the wind,
what is he wearing? Are those pants or?
It's something.
I'm trying to see what's on the bottom of him.
It's, you know
What's
what?
underneath the bike? I'm trying to figure that out. What are the ones?
You know what? He's so rich now. He figured out a way to like not have like legs, So it's, he
He's
just
an
has so
octopus.
much money. He could,
Not language.
Again, thank you all very much for joining us. Here's Chris and Xiao Hai and Reynold in the King of Art. Who was your king in this matchup? Well, you're gonna have to tell us because I'm a bit torn. I am the Italian group in this case.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
This land is calling.
Going on, everybody? I'm here with Chris G and Reynold, and I want to test their Fatal Fury knowledge today. All right, so this next one is a character y'all both are familiar with, Billy Kane. Let's see what Billy Kane says for his win quote.
All right, you want to read it this
All
time?
right. A, eat my power pole pansy. A nice treat after a long separation. B, eat my power pole pansy. A nice treat after a wrong separation. Okay, so there's either long or wrong. And then C, eat my rod, pansy. A nice treat after a long separation.
Clearly it's not C. I'm going with A.
All right, cool.
Chris is locking in A, Reynolds locking in C. Are we eating poles or eating rods? We're gonna find out right now. Eat my power pole, Pansy. A nice treat after a long separation.
Long.
So A was the
correct.
answer.
Okay, good.
To oppose me is to listen to Madonna at a celibacy meeting. Who wrote that? It was him. B, to oppose me is to listen to Slayer in church.
Okay, that's not it, for sure.
Hey, you don't know
That's
that.
not, nah, that's not it. That's not
To oppose me is to listen to Frank Sinatra at Woodstock. One of these is actually the answer.
One of them is
There's
written.
no D?
There's no D. Maybe he's a big Madonna. Well, he doesn't like Madonna. He's a Madonna hater. He's bullying you for being a Madonna fan.
And Frank Sinatra, it is C.
See, you're going with C?
What about you?
C?
I'm gonna go with A.
He's gonna go with Madonna.
Madonna.
It looks like Reynold was right. To
damn,
oppose
Madonna.
me is to listen to Madonna at a celibacy meeting. Listening to Madonna at a celibacy meeting, I don't even know what that has to do with Fatal Fury, but
You know what? It has everything to do with celibacy meetings, though, all right?
and that's going to be it for our installment of the King of Localization here. I am Rome himself. Once again, these are your competitors for the EWC, Chris G and Reynold. Make sure to cheer them on. I hope they do their best.
没有参加过这么大的比赛，从以前参加过那么多大大小小比赛，到这个最世界性的比赛。
Xiao Hai smelled the hop jump action. Wow! Just stay ducking for the crouching bottom.
Last year, I win the EWC, my most important champion in my life. So I love this place. I love EWC.
Reynold gets one more chance to jump correctly, and he does it. The overhead is going to hurt Goichi.
제 인생에서 어떻게 보면 가장 이제 처음이자 마지막일 수 있을지 모르겠지만 제 인생에서 가장 큰 규모의 대회이기 때문에
One more bar to reversal available. Catches him on the backside. Just going to run. No! To fall away again, but it gets it.
We start from the bottom, and then we see how far we can go. I'm the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
絶対勝つぞI am the GOAT 我会把你们统统都送下去
What the hell was that? That's not how you pop off. Yes. What is that? Where's the energy at?
Yeah, it's okay for me. Yeah.
You're a champion, Xiao Hai.
Okay.
Remember how you felt after Evo Japan when you won that? You remember how you felt when you won EWC at Xiao Rider last year? Okay. Remember that feeling right now.
Okay, can you show me?
I'm that guy. I'm him. Big Hollywood Rock TV. I'm Xiao Hai. You not Xiao Hai. I'm Xiao Hai. I built this brick by brick. I started this from the bottom to the top. SCK champion, Street Fighter League EWC champion. It's Okay. Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again, Xiao Hai.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Sister. It's not a representation of a champion. I don't like it. I'm going. I'm done, Xiao Hai.
Xiao Hai, I'm Xiao Hai. I'm with the champion of myself. You know that? Bro, you know that? Huh? Come on, bro.
Welcome to the Esports World Cup, and it is my pleasure to bring the FGC back here to the EWC, and for the first time making its historic debut, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, a community that has so much history and incredible competition is here at EWC, and the storylines are already writing themselves. And what better lineup to have than some of the greatest minds in the history of SNK Esports here to join me in the studio to talk about all of the action to come, and of course analysing the matches that we'll be seeing over the next 3 days. Let's introduce who I'm going to be joined by. First up, the man, the chest, the legend, Gibby. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Logan. I'm very happy to be here. First time working with you in front of the camera. We've been working together for years now behind the camera.
That's right.
This is our first time. So happy to be here.
A lot of firsts going on. Aru, how excited are you to be here talking about one of your favorite titles?
Bro, it is really surreal. Honestly, it still hasn't even sunk in that I'm sitting here right now talking with you, talking with my boy Rome, with Gibby. But it's been really exciting. The people here have been very, very friendly, and the competition is about to be so fierce.
The competition is definitely not going to be friendly. Rome, you've been calling the action, for a number of years. You've been on the road to EWC, seeing these players qualify. How does it feel to be here now in the studio?
I love a good story, man. I love the culmination of all the players finally getting out here to the EWC. Much like us, we're being able to share this experience with them, with you as well, Logan, and I've been very excited. I cannot wait to see the match.
Well, of course, there's going to be a lot of individual glory, fame and riches, but it's not just about the individual player. Of course, the Esports World Cup has the Club Championship, a unique format which sees some of the biggest, the greatest, the most powerful organizations in the world of esports going head-to-head for that Club Championship. Let's take a look, a little bit more information on that.
This is the Esports World Cup Club Championship, the ultimate cross-game competition that will crown the best esports club in the world. Let's break down how it works. Clubs will be able to compete at the Esports World Cup and as many titles as they can qualify for. The clubs will then earn points based on their placement in each title. To qualify for the Club Championship, a club will need a top 8 placement in at least 2 competitions. But to win the championship, a club must place first in at least 1 competition. At the end of the Esports World Cup, the 24 clubs with the highest number of points will earn a share of the $27 million, with the winner taking home a staggering $7 million, and of course, the title of the best esports club in the world. Who will rise above and write their place in history? Watch it all here at the Esports World Cup.
Of course, the Esports World Cup will spread across 7 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to all of that action. Fatal Fury, of course, here in week 1, but the action has already started. Let's take a look at the timeline of the Esports World Cup, and you can see 7 weeks of action. Look at all of those titles there, 27 games up, and there's an abundance of talent. I cannot believe how deep the rosters are. There you can see the action has already begun for Valorant and Rensport, Apex Legends, and ourselves here at Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, kicking off today here with the culmination of the grand finals here with Fatal Fury on Saturday. Of course, these clubs are all playing for an enormous $27 million prize pool, $7 million going to the organization, which takes that first place. And of course, you must win one of these events to be in the running to be the club champion. You score points and accumulate those across the 7 weeks with the organization, which accrues the most points and of course manages to secure at least 1 game title victory will be taking that title. Can Falcons do it again? They're looking incredibly strong, especially here in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. We will find out. But of course, it has been 26 years in the making, over a quarter of a century. But SNK have resurrected its iconic fighting game series with the release of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves this year, April 24th on and it marks the first new installment since Garo Mark of the Wolves in 1999. Of course, the game introduces a unique art style. The innovative rev system is introduced here for the first time. And of course, both classic and new characters with a nostalgic style, both familiar to SNK enthusiasts and attracting an abundance of new players as well. It's available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. And of course, you guys here in the studio, you have a storied history with SNK titles. Some of you, have only gone back and played it as a retro. Yourself, Gibby, of course, you were there, weren't you, in 1999? Slightly younger man, of course.
I had a full head of hair.
I'm sure.
These things happen, yeah. I've been an SNK player and fan since the late 80s, and nothing has changed since then. Half my life, I've been waiting for this game to come out, and it's here. And the thing that's making me so excited is all the new players getting into it, all the new personalities, the talents. I believe this is your first time working on an SNK title, isn't it?
Of course, and that really just shows that the impact of this title. There's players like yourselves who have, 3 decades plus of experience with SNK titles, and new people like myself who are discovering, the world, the universe, the characters, the exciting mechanics of the game. Aru, you've done so much with the King of Fighters series, but Fatal Fury coming back with City of the Wolves, how does this game feel to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. The new game is quite fun. The systems feel very deep. I think that the game has a lot of potential for growth and development as the years go on. We're seeing a lot of it already. It's only been, 3.5 months since the game came out, right? But the players are already reaching astounding new heights as far as the level of play that they've achieved. And I personally, as a fan of SNK, and I tried out Garo as well. When I heard this game was coming out, I enjoyed it, and I'm enjoying seeing how the game's developing, basically.
Ron, what's your history with this title? Because I know it goes back to being a little nipper back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, much like Aru, I was a KOF guy initially for the competitive scene, but growing up, Fatal Fury was always in the household. Used to play with my brothers, my cousins, my uncle. Shout outs to D-Train. Had a Neo Geo, so we used to play that. My older cousins used to have the OVA series, so we used to watch the animes, play all the old Fatal Fury games, but never competitively. So now to have a 90s game brought into the modernized era really makes me feel good. I've been having a good time playing it, of course, learning the game, not only to be better, but to cast. It's been a beautiful time, Logan.
It's great to embrace and celebrate that history, that pedigree that SNK has in the fighting game world, and bringing back a title like Fatal Fury has definitely done it. Ro, you've been involved in, calling the action for the last couple of months on the road to EWC, as players from around the world have fought, battled, scrapped for these 16 spots for the opportunity to play at the Esports World Cup. Let's take a look at one of those events that these guys were present at, and I was lucky enough to be at as well. Combo Breaker in the greater Chicagoland area happened a couple months ago. Let's take a look at some of the action and some of the players' experiences.
It's time for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves here at Combo Breaker 2025.
I'm going to be competing in City of the Wolves. I love the game. I love the style. I love the comic book aesthetic of it.
I'm at a Combo Breaker to qualify for EWC and the World Tour for SNK. Everyone's trying to qualify, everyone's hungry. It's anybody's game right now, and you can't count anybody out. Just having that money in the back of your head, it kind of changes a lot of people's mindsets. I'm pretty nervous right now, but I'm looking to win.
These competitors going through the ringer, man, all for those coveted EWC spots, and of course, to find out who's going to be the very first Combo Breaker champion here from Fatal Fury City of the Wolves.
Goichi can definitely just JD for the rest of the round. And Chris G is in winners finals and qualifies for EWC. Now to fall away again, but he gets it. One time round, Flame. Neither one of them can believe it. And that's gonna be it. Reynold moves on to grand finals. That's gonna be it. Goichi moves on to grand finals.
Chris G played his heart out, qualified for the EWC, which I know was something he wanted. Goichi is on fire, baby. And one more's gonna do it.
Not much Reynold can do here. Oh!
And we got a bracket reset!
He said, what do I do? What do I do here?
No, look
nonsense going on here?
You gotta figure it out, bro. It's not over yet.
Oh, and that's it. Goichi punches his ticket to SWC 2025.
Goichi coming into this top 8 from the loser side and winning the final 6 games. 6 games straight.
そうですね、最近のゲームは結構簡易化されたゲームが多くて、フェタルフューリーはすごいテクニックでカバーできる部分が多くて、やり込めばやり込むほど結構安定するような、システムになってて、僕は非常に好みです。
Incredible competition there shown at Combo Breaker, and Rome, your voice was all over that. We could hear the passion and excitement there as the action unfolded. But normally we only see a star-studded lineup of players attending only a handful of events a year. But over the last season, we've seen it almost every month across the world. The road to EWC has brought the stars out, the big professional names. It's brought some professional names into the fold of SNK Esports as well. What's the change been like? How's it affected the community, the competitions over the years, now that the road to EWC is part of these events?
Totally. I mean, right before we had that beautiful package, you said something, you said scrap, right? I've watched players from all over come to compete in Fatal Fury and scrap and claw and try to get those EWC spots. Thankfully, I had a great position watching from the top 8 to be able to commentate and tell their stories, seeing people break down when they get close to those EWC spots. So you talk about what it means for these players. This is life-changing money, man, and these guys are doing the best they can. Not everyone was able to make it, but they've been challenging themselves. Players from other games, everyone's coming into Fatal Fury to be the hungriest wolf.
A hungry wolf indeed. The road to EWC has been a long one, but they are here, 16 players ready to battle it out for the grandest prize in all of esports. And their next 3 days are going to be looking like this. The tournament format, of course, 16 players qualified, and they're broken down into 4 groups of 4 players. It's double elimination format, and yes, all group matches are best of 5. 2 players will make it out into a top 8, which will be single elimination, but that will be best of 9. First to 5, only the best will survive, and that is why they are playing for this, the richest prize pool in the history of SNK Esports. And of course, overall, the EWC is the biggest event of the year. Guys, what does it mean? I'm going to ask you, Gibby, first of all, because you have the longest, history with SNK titles. Going back to your days in the 90s when these games first came out and you're putting your quarters up in the arcades, to here, 2025, players are playing for a $300,000 first prize.
So it's something that I never thought I would see for an SNK game in particular. I'm so excited to see this happening. Some players going to get literal life-changing money. Back in the 90s, this would have been retirement money. Now, it's still life-changing. You can take care of your family. You can potentially buy a house depending on where you live, down payment. It's something. And on top of that, not just the money, you get the pride and the bragging rights of being the first Esports World Championship for City of the Wolves.
Aru, of course, the format a little bit different to what we're used to, but best of 5 in pools. We're really happy to see that. Single elim, best of 9 as well. Is the best man going to win in this format?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, when you get up to those numbers of games, then you're looking at like so many adjustments to be made. So the better player is, of course, going to naturally end up on top. Even arguably, even in the shorter formats. But that's maybe I'll save that for a later segment, right? But before I get myself into any more trouble, I also want to add on to your point about life-changing money. A lot of these players have like really interesting stories, and this money it means a lot to them. So be sure to keep an eye out for the big interviews that we have lined up for you guys. They've been incredible stuff to witness, and I think you guys will really enjoy them.
There's some great players here and some fantastic stories, as Aru mentioned. Let's get familiar with the qualified players. Let's take a look at the 16 teams being represented and the players. And look, they're first on the list, of course, we know. the man that everyone is talking about. We'll be talking about him in detail, Xiao Hai. But there's players from all over the globe, returning legends, new faces. It's very exciting. Let's take a look at the groups and how they have been split. And the group that everyone is talking about, that group of death guys, Group A. Let's talk about that real briefly.
So this is Chris G's kind of sort of death pool here. It's please save me from all the Billies, and it's all about Xiao Hai in this pool. Everyone knows Xiao Hai. Xiao Hai is the first fighting game esports World Cup champion. So he has a chance at becoming the second, or no, two-time, not second. This is his second title. Is he the first person to qualify for two?
He's the first person ever in history to compete in 2 different games, and he could become, of course, the first person ever to hold titles in 2 different games, and I can't see anyone else doing that in the future.
I mean, if anyone's going to do it, it's definitely Xiao Hai. But like you mentioned, Chris G, I've been calling it, you know, his last name, instead of Gonzalez, it's Gauntlet, right? Because he's going through every single Billy Kane, all the strongest ones, the oldest one, and Zizui as well. But Chris G, a player who, I mean, he's got so many multiple games under his belt that he can acclimate himself, I think, to the different styles of the Billies.
Moving on to Group B, and there's an abundance of talent in there, Rom.
Group B I find to be the most interesting group in terms of players looking for something to prove, right? Different stories. We have Fenrich. Fenrich started off very hot in this game. Second at Evo Japan, was doing really well. Suffered a bad loss to Kizzy K at Combo Breaker, and it feels like we haven't seen much of them since. Then we have xyzz, who I feel like is a strong player, former Evolution champion in KOF, but always gets overshadowed by their peers. There's always so many other players that might qualify over. Then we go to Reynold, who was another Evo champion, took a little bit of a break from SNK titles, was playing some other stuff. Now back here to do his best, but lost a Combo Breaker, as we saw at 6-0, which was rough to Goichi. And then another top 8 place at CEO, but looking for that big win. And then for the final one, which doesn't sound like it should be a rough one, but to me, ET has been, he's been struggling. Let's give it a buck. He's been, the way he's been playing, it hasn't been what we've known to see, but hopefully he can pull out this weekend.
Let's take a look at Group C. Gibby, I know you've been taking a close eye on this one.
So this one has like the future of the Mexican SNK community in Dark Angel. One of that, I think the only Terry player that we have here in the tournament. And then again, we've also got Goichi, dominated Reynold. There's no other way to put it. Combo Breaker took him out. Kendu, former SNK player in the old days, played a lot of old talent, great, and I think this is one of the stronger pools, personally.
And Aru, I know you've been taking a look at Group D, that one to come up a little bit later on. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, honestly, Group D is a really interesting one. I think story-wise, it's got some really compelling stuff in there. You got Punko, who's of course coming off of kind of like a hard time in recent years, but I mean he's really this game has really changed his life, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see him fight up against Mok, who's a good friend of his. Whenever they go to travel together, they're always like looking out for each other, making sure that the other one's like going to the right places, they got some place to eat, something to eat, that type of thing. So it's going to be nice to see kind of like the rivals squaring off against each other. We've also got the Geo going up against RB, which is going to be incredible. The Geo, of course, representing Peru, and RB, of course, representing Taiwan. It's going to be a big clash of styles, and also both Gatos in that pool.
Thanks to our partners at Jamil Motorsports. You can see the players arriving to the Amazon Arena, which will be the home to competition. Shout out to Goichi, such a character. Home to all the competition for the next 3 days, where these players will be battling it out for fame, glory, and riches at the Esports World Cup. There you can see the players selecting their medals, which will of course be part of the trophy, the unique format of the Esports World Cup. And I'm really excited to see the crushing ceremony. If you haven't seen that yet, it is definitely one of the highlights of the experiences. Each player is eliminated from the Esports World Cup. Their medal will be put in the crusher, and that will definitely be a fun moment. ultimately, the winner will be allowed to select some of their toughest opponents and place their crushed medals, if they can get them out of the wall, crushed medals into the trophy, becoming a very, very personal record of their achievement here at the Esports World Cup. A fantastic format. So many cool, unique aspects about the Esports World Cup. There you see Reynold and Xiao Hai, and I'm sure he is deep in his notes and studying, right? He's always about that. Yeah. He's certainly not very comfortable and will be just stepping up anyway. Let's take a look now at today's schedule. We're kicking off the action very shortly. First up, there you go, our marquee match, Xiao Hai versus xyzz. That's our first match of the day. You couldn't ask for a bigger banger than that. Chris G going up against KOG. Fenrich against ET. That is going to be incredible. And Reynold against ZJZ. Two Evolution champions going head to head. I told you it's nothing but bangers today. Following that, Goichi versus Nemo. That could be a fixture across multiple titles, but we're lucky enough to get that in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Kendu against Dark Angel. That's one's going to be tremendously exciting. Punko versus Moog, and RB versus the Geo. Nothing but certified bangers today. But you know what? We had to pick one. The SNB match of the day. It's a very obvious choice, isn't it, for us?
It's got to be, right? Obviously, Xiao Hai versus ZZY. Xiao Hai picking up Billy Kane as of recently. ZZY being on Billy since release, right? Has a chance to prove, like, hey, I'm the real one.
Yeah, honestly, it's going to be really interesting. xyzz, of course, a very defensive. He likes to pressure you from mid-range quite a lot. He likes to poke. He likes to use the feint cancels a lot. So it's going to be kind of about who's going to be able to get the read on the other guy first, in my opinion. Get the read, get the big jump in, that type of thing.
Definitely going to be Xiao Hai's offense versus Zizzy's defense. That's what this match is going to come down to, and it can go either way. But I mean, Xiao Hai, I think we all agree, is the favorite in this one.
I think so, but it really could go either way, yeah, in my opinion.
I mean, Billy's defense is so limited, but it's all about defensive reads, right? And Xiao Hai's reads are some of the very best in the game.
Reads, positioning, all of that is going to be so important for this matchup. I mean, it's a mirror matchup, right? So, of course, it's going to come down to who's able to pick their spots better, control that space a little bit better, and pick their spots when they go on offense first.
You do say mirror match, and I find it a little interesting. I feel like an interesting mirror match of this caliber could feel like a bad matchup in a way, right? Billy Kane doesn't have a reversal, but what does he have in spades? Pressure, right? The minute he's in overheat, though, he doesn't have access to guard cancels. He doesn't have access to any type of mechanic to keep him away. He has to rely on super. The other Billy, the most aggressive one, which will probably be Xiao Hai, is going to look for those EX Rekkas to pull you in. He's going to look for the heavy pole. He's going to look for EX spinning pole to maintain spacing. It's really going to come down to ZZY's defense, like you said.
It's going to be an incredible match, and that's why it's our match of the day, and it's our first match. You don't have to wait long for it. We're nearly at the start, but let's check in with our roving reporter because we have updates from arena side. So let's check in. Let's find out who our reporter is.
Hey guys, I am here with Hell Pockets and Gibby just to talk a little bit about this amazing extravaganza. 16 of the world's absolute finest warriors are here, gathered from across the globe to do battle for a $1 million prize pool. Now, Hell Pockets, talk to me. How significant is this opportunity here at the EWC?
I mean, honestly, it's really cool to be here, obviously, supporting Fatal Fury, the first iteration of the game in the last 26 years, I believe. And with that comes the fact that there are no gods in this game, there are no kings in this game, there are champions in the past, but they don't compete at this level. So it's literally anybody's game, and history for this game is being written as we speak.
Oh, 100%. Gibby, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, we have Kendu, Xiao Hai, Reynold, Goichi, Nemo. We have various champions from other games coming into this game for the first time, trying to be the first EWC champion ever.
Absolutely incredible stuff. 7 countries are in this mix of action, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. $1 million in the prize pool. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I'll see you later.
Tremendously impressive stuff, specifically from Gibby. I don't know how you managed to teleport back to the studio in that time, but truly a man of many talents. Thanks to Ryan Hart for bringing us the reports from the wayside. Another name that has so much history with SNK. We did talk about the club championships before earlier on in the pre-show, and it is a huge part of this. Let's take a look at some of our picks for the top tier teams here in Rome. I know you've been looking at this power ranking.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a fool if you don't have Falcons up there, right? I mean, we have 4 players in this whole bracket. One out of
the only team, right, with multiple representatives.
So definitely, I mean, I think they're up in that top ranking. What about you, Aru?
Yeah, I mean, Falcons, of course, obvious choice for Tier 1. We had KSG up there, Xiao Hai's team, you know, the favorite of the event. Makes sense for him to be up there. Every team besides Falcons actually only has one representative at the event.
Yeah, and that's what makes Falcons so strong in this scenario. They have one player in each pool, and we can potentially have 4 players from Falcons in top 8.
Yeah, accruing points for the club championship, right? That type of thing. It's really important, I think. And since this game is so early, it's going to really set the tone for the rest of the event as far as the club championship goes.
Absolutely. Club championships is a vital part. Guys, it's time for the doctor notes. I need your hot takes. We've got not long until the opening ceremony, so let's get them real quick. Serve them up.
Hot take for me. I know I said he was struggling, but I believe in ET. He's going to do it today. He's going to qualify all the winners.
My hot take is that for most of you riffraff, you pop monster riffraff out there, you don't need first to 3. First to 2 is just fine.
Mine is double elimination pools. Players are going to adjust to that, go funneling into a single elimination bracket. The pressure is going to be on them to win even more so when that single elimination bracket. We're going to see people sweat.
We are definitely going to see people sweat, and it's almost time to get into the action. For the first time, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, SNK Esports World Cup. It's been 26 years in the making, but Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is here. It's almost time to get into our first matches. So let's head over to the Amazon Arena and the opening ceremony. Let's go.
No competition is as ruthless as the Esports World Cup. Its trophy system is no exception. The Club Championship Trophy, awarded to the one club that rose above the rest and reigned supreme across all EWC games. The Game Trophy, when a competitor closes their eyes, it's all they see, and it's not complete until it's sealed with a champion's key. Every participant earns a key engraved with their name. That's their right to compete. This year, returning champions hold a key unlike any other. Only one can place their key into the game trophy and become an EWC champion. The frame of the champion's key is embedded into the totem, a stone marker of legacy displaying every champion of the year. The keys of the eliminated will be crushed. The champion selects 3 broken keys as a personal token, a reminder of who they have humbled. Beneath the totem, a resin block holds the remaining keys, a graveyard of fallen contenders. Will your dreams be broken or your name carved in gold and stone? At EWC, nothing is granted, everything is earned.
Welcome to the Esports World Cup. The 16 best players in the world have converged here for all of your viewing entertainment and most importantly, for glory. The road will not be easy, but at the end, we will know who is Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. I am one of your hosts, Hollywood, Raw TV, and I am joined here with the illustrious Milos. What's up with you, brother?
Rob, it is an absolute pleasure to be here by your side and celebrate history here in our wonderful game of Fatal Fury. But you're talking about a City of the Wolves. It is absolutely a set of wolves here. The 16 players, the best of the best in a Fatal Fury, landed in Riyadh only a few days ago. Each one of them with a key, but only one will place it here and seal it in our trophy. So how about we say hello to all of our players, all 16. We're starting off with Group D. And first up are 4 from the 16 for Group D. From Peru, representing Jedi Zone, Latino.
重そうですね。この真ん中にカロリーの真ん中にちょっとくぼみがあると思うんですよ。
ありますね。これちょっと僕昨年他のタイトルで見てたんですけど、あそこのくぼみにこのチップをはめるで、プレイヤーはこのチップを全て持ってると思うんですけど、その大会の演出でそのチップをなんか取り上げられるみたいな演出があったと思うんですけど。
Fighting out of Mexico, Dark Angel! From Japan, Kendu, also known as the Golden Fatty. That is the direct translation.
He's out of this world. From Taiwan, still representing Team Falcons, it's ED! And finally, from Japan, representing Cyclops Athlete Gaming Osaka, his captain of adaptability, he's Fenrich! They're biased to one side or the other here, Rob. It's clear.
I like that. Sometimes you got to play away games, sometimes home games. The greats get it done under all circumstances. Speaking of greats, we got 4 of those coming up right now. Group A. Let's go ahead and introduce them. First and foremost, none other than the grappler god, Goichi K.O.G. Fighting out of the United States. He should already have a chest full of medals. Multi-fighting game guy, Chris G. And of course, this man plays everything, always with the long-range characters. It is none other than xyzz. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the king himself, the one who sits atop the throne, we are talking about none other than Xiao Hai. He's gonna be hard to stop today.
Absolutely will be. Absolutely will be. We have to start off our match, though, Rob. So please, gentlemen, come down to your seats and get set. Wait, are my eyes seeing this right? xyzz, please. Xiao Hai.
First match of the day, and we're getting Xiao Hai versus xyzz. You cannot make it up. I'm assuming that we might even see the Billy Mirror. Who knows? If so, it's interesting because xyzz played the character first, but Xiao Hai is Xiao Hai. Who's gonna get it done?
I'm very much looking forward to this. And remember, this is just the opener of our group stage. Let's send it to our commentators.
Well, how do you...
The crowd is insane. We are at the nest itself. The Falcons have come out. They are spreading their wings. But of course, it is no slouch what they will be fighting. More than 16 players of the Wolfpack have gathered here, deal Hot Pockets. And we are going to have a fantastic day of some refined Fatal Fury.
Oh man, I can't wait, man. It's all come down to this. This is the most tremendous weekend and the short lifespan of this. This game is only 3 months old, 3.5 months old, and we are already at the most important weekend of the game's lifespan so far.
It's a test by fire, not only for these fans, not only for the game, but of course for these 16 champions who from all around the world have gathered here, of course representing some of the most important and dominant esports organizations in the world. Look at that crowd and that scenario, Pockets.
I think they figured out who their favorites are. You know, they see that the Falcons might have a home field advantage here. Right? A little bit of a home field advantage here. Never hurt anybody. Definitely love to see the energy from anybody in the crowd. We definitely, as SNK fans, are no stranger to insane energy in the crowd, and I'm glad that the folks out here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, are meeting the challenge there.
And what a way to start, Pockets. Look at this. That's the man at the top, the king of the Zenith, Xiao Hai, the one who has to be reached. And of course, he's fighting one of the strongest players, in my opinion, in this tournament. Of course, we are talking of xyzz, the man from Korea, and of course representing Falcons. He's gonna get that energy. But if we know something here in the SNK community, Pocket, is dealing with those shouts from the crowd who wants you to lose, I am sure Xiao Hai is more than ready to fight against all odds.
Yeah, Xiao Hai definitely no stranger to people yelling things at him in the middle of a high-stakes match. Absolutely at home in that environment and totally ready to, well, I won't say upset everybody, because let's face it, he is the favorite to take everything this weekend, as he is a previous EWC champion for Street Fighter 6, and they told him, like, hey, you might have did good at Street Fighter 6 last year, but bring it over here, brother. You're up first.
And that's a man walking on the path of legend, because how many other players will be able to say they want a 2-times situation, a 2-times world champion here at the ECW, the Esports World Cup? Man, things are going to get incredibly high.
Yeah, no, a two-peat is on the docket right now. It is in play. This would be unprecedented. Xiao Hai with the ability, the opportunity to take 2 EWC championships home in basically 2 years, back-to-back. Like, you want to talk about setting records, setting the standard. We've been talking all weekend, all year about this game, writing the history for Fatal Fury in real time, right in front of us, because there are no Fatal Fury champions of the current era. There are no gods of Fatal Fury in the current era. These people here on stage that showed up, these 16 individuals, are the current candidates.
That's completely right. Of course, all of them are looking at not only that prize, but of course, that incredible trophy that will be able. Look at this, man. We have a complete crowd fighting here on the side of xyzz. Why they even have that incredible pendant with the faces of these players. Like, never in the history of FGC I have seen a soccer-like crowd. Of course, we are getting everything ready with the button check. You know, we need these guys to play on their top level. And here's in the Falcons nets itself, this Esports Amazon Arena. We are ready to roll. Everyone is here. I can't wait for this to start, Pocket. We are going to the character selection screen. I am telling you guys, I am watching what's happening, and we are almost there. We are almost ready.
So this is gonna be an interesting matchup. Obviously, xyzz starting his Fatal Fury City of the Wolves career during the beta playing Preacha, switched over to Billy Kane at the game's release because he had been apparently eyeballing him for quite some time at that point. And recently, as of CEO, as far as we know publicly, Xiao Hai unveiling to Billy Kane and winning CEO, winning the belt. And basically we're seeing, like, how much of a time difference really matters here, right? I mean, the guy playing it since the game's release versus the guy who picked him up a couple weeks ago.
That's completely right, Pockets. I am so excited to see what's going to happen. I am having high hopes of xyzz to bring this to the last match. Remember, this is, of course, a first of 3, a best of 5, because of the clamor of the public, because the Esports World Cup decided to listen to the players, we are going to run this for a lot of rounds, as I believe it's a nice way to play, at least now at the start of this competitive era of the City of the Wolves.
Hey man, what a hell of a way to start. You know, like some people say it needs more time to cook, but these guys with $1 million and a prize pot on the line and a short amount of time to make it happen rose to the occasion. So
okay.
I think that if anything, we're going to see some animal-style fighting game action right now.
At least. This is, again, also one of the great things that I am enjoying about this game and this season as we are opening on the history of City of the Wolves is the fact that you can see these players getting used and exploiting the mechanics of the game a little by little more. They are starting to learn how to cook. They are starting to learn the advanced stuff, and it's going to be fantastic to see.
No, you're right, Cole. With each major, the approach to the game is altered just enough that people either give up on characters entirely or the entire community goes all in on them. We saw everybody go all in on Marco. We saw a lot of people started going in on Kine early, and now people are all going in on Billy Kane. Will this be another dramatic shift in the storyline of Fatal Fury's meta?
And of course, Xiao Hai can say that I picked him day one.
It's probably not, because we're seeing a lot of Billies already.
Yeah, a lot of Billies today, but he is most likely the real one. The thumbs have been set up, the buttons have been checked, and we are ready to start the road to those millions of dollars. The Falcon, look at that, the wheels are flapping, my friend. They are flying right now.
All right, here we go. No more button checks. It is time to get down to business.
You are completely right, and fastly Xiao Hai makes the first introduction. But look at that, xyzz makes a fast approach, getting the grab, trying to set up something. Little by little, the pressure is gonna take him into the corner. But a bit of a pause over there, playing on the middle range. That, of course, is one of the places we love the most.
I mean, obviously, both of these guys fully aware of what they want to happen with this character and what they don't want to happen to them. Getting knocked down, absolute pain in the you-know-what for Billy Kane's, as they lack a lot of defensive options outside of using meter reversals.
Ooh, look at this.
And despite all that, Xiao Hai has been knocked down twice, and Zizzy has not been able to really capitalize on either one of those. Already at the life deficit. Gets the low V as an opener. What's up next?
He decided to not expend much with that opening.
And it's interesting, well, I was going to say you weren't seeing it. Well, there's a just defend. You weren't seeing a lot of blocking going on, because blocking in this scenario, Billy Kane able to crank up your rev gauge so considerably considerably, while now utilizing a lot of his own rev gauge to do so. It's almost like blocking him is to your own detriment.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to say take the hit, but hey, better than getting guard broken sometimes.
Billy for sure is able to bring the pressure. And why are you breaking buttons, boy? It's his turn.
Maybe thought the throw was coming, but hey, that meaty was there 2 days ago.
And we are going to bring the flames up perfect over here. What a declaration from Xiao Hai, taking game number one. Still a long road ahead, Pockets, but KSG owns Xiao Hai has made the first statement.
Hey man, you know, he's used to definitely setting the tone of a match whenever he gets the opportunity to. Now it's on xyzz, aka Zizzy, to make this happen in his favor. At least give him something to think about.
Oh, look at this. Yet again, Xiao Hai finding the opening. Both of them trying to read out that SPG with the first strike. Now xyzz has to play this of principles.
Excellent guard cancel from Zizzy there. I was going to point out that despite the fact that, you know, you're going to see a lot of Billies here, Billy not the best guard canceler in the game, especially against himself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to take a lot of real pinpoint accuracy decisions on the part of the Billy in either what direction to really take advantage of that. And Zizzy showing like, hey, I've seen these scenarios, I've got a game plan.
And I think you have called one of the most important abilities in a mirror match, Pocket, the decision making. Like, you will have to take out and use your resources in the best possible way. Even more in this range, right? Like, Billy loves to play in that middle range. Look at that, all
That's
those
where he's the strongest
delicious just defense, all to deliver this punish, and of course get the turn. Sadly, the red blow is not gonna land, and we get hot.
That cross under low B. You're gonna see that low B a lot because it has such great extension on it, and it's super hard to push block him out of range of anything afterwards. He gets the low A afterwards anyway. It's almost like you might as well not even bother to rev guard.
The big investment of xyzz is starting to pay he has the advantage and 26% in the overheat. He will be able to dominate here Xiao Hai, and of course the crowd is gonna screech that roar because their boy, has just taken game number 2.
Yeah, you gotta imagine they're going bonkers in the crowd right now. Zizzy with a great adjustment here in the second game. And wow, there we go. Yeah, they've been waiting for this one.
A complete spectacle, the one that we are enjoying here. Let's witness it together with you out there at home. Share the stream, bring the people. I know it's early in the morning in many places, other will be very late in the night, but who is not scared or sleepy is xyzz who comes out swinging.
Yeah, you're going to see like the Billies go for the low B a lot more often now because, like I said before, it has great extension on it, sets up a lot of his safe pressure, and once again, he's not going to utilize a lot of his own rev gauge to crank up yours, and if you just take the hit, he can put the damage on you like nobody else.
Xiao Hai runs that back and the punish is here. Try to maintain something, suddenly he gets into the corner a little bit, but xyzz has no turn. Come here. No, the backdash.
Yeah, it's messed up, ain't it?
Yeah, you are in the blender, bro. You have to keep defending.
He can keep on pulling you back in, and you're like, man, I can put a reversal on him if I want to spin the meter, but I don't know if he's beating that. I saw Nemo do that to ET, CEO, and I don't know if that's like the move, so maybe I'll try backdashing, and he whips the low B, but the low A cancels from that, so really difficult to get away from.
Completely. You are completely right. That's why this character right now is so favored by the players all over the world. So let's see. We're going to go with the ignition gear, and the pressure is on. Go to Gayoga's go. Oh, he wanted to go with the pogo, but he's going to get punished for his trouble.
Yeah, so I think he had a free overhead there. I don't know.
He believed too much, Bucket. Just a little bit too much, but of course...
Had it again.
He can, yeah, like, if it doesn't work, but xyzz is more than ready. He's telling, no, bro, if you're gonna be giving gifts, I'm gonna take them.
I think, Xiao Hai is feeling like, okay, it's early. This is Dread 5. Couple opportunities for me to, like, be a little creative on offense here.
He had the round advantage, of course. He had a chance to be a little bit creative, but xyzz has proven to be more than ready for the Xiao Hai shenanigans.
Xiao Hai not looking incredibly dominant here. Zizzy definitely giving him all he can handle. And I gotta think, man, like, what if Zizzy puts him down round 1? That's definitely going to bust some brackets early. Xiao Hai not trying to let that happen at all. Not even trying to let it get close to that.
But I was telling you, man, like xyzz has a good chance. He's a great player. He has
why do you challenge that?
He's a very dangerous Billy. The challenge, you say, there is no respect right here by xyzz.
Maybe that's a super was an option there, but he just missed the eye. Didn't want to spin the rev gauge. I'm pulling him back in, I guess. Might have been too far away.
That's some fleshy hit.
What a challenge from Xiao Hai.
You are not gonna go and lead this parade. You are gonna stay down with the 2-1. Xiao Hai stepping up to the challenge. Look at that.
And from that distance, a lot of people will just let the Billy rock, with the rev spin there, with the rev stick spin. Like, a lot of people will just let him walk in on you like that. But Xiao Hai just saying, like, nope, you've got like maybe 1 or 2 options from that distance, and neither one of them are really gonna hit.
Love. Look at this. Yet again, back into it.
Yeah, man, that's a tremendous feather in the cap for Xiao Hai. And you can see Zizzy's kind of stung by that. He's like, damn, you're not even going to let me, like, utilize a 2-frame window?
It's clearly a lot of checks, a lot of tests.
Not going to let me just do no fake strings?
Look at it. Ooh.
No gaps allowed?
You are not going to jump. Like, these guys are more than ready, Puck, that you are perfectly analyzing the situation. Another ignition gear.
Yeah, he's like, no more fake stuff, brother.
No. You have to speak the truth here.
The only real Billy strings allowed here.
Let's see, patience over here by Xiao Hai xyzz, of course, now on a situation.
Yeah, and look, he's already up at 50% rev gauge, and Xiao Hai hadn't spent anything. So got the meeting crow speed. This is going to be a lot of damage.
The challenge over there was not what xyzz needed. He's out of SPG right now.
He's almost close to overheating himself.
Oh, look at that. Yes. You are going to play here. Here in Riyadh, we have been getting overheat all day, more than 40 degrees Celsius. But right now, xyzz is feeling the heat, but he is going to step up to that challenge.
Confirmed, that's what you got to do. One more touch is not going to win. Oh, but he's still overheated. He can't really, like, force the issue there.
Wow, the chase. Look at
chase
that.
Close D, yeah, man. It's difficult. That's going to do it, man. Down goes Zizzy. And Xiao Hai moving on.
He is going down into the lower bracket. The hands has to be shaken. Sadly, for this time, for the crowd here at the Amazon Esports Arena, their boy was unable to fly yet again, Xiao Hai, demonstrating that he is the man racing above everyone else right now, Hell Pocket.
It's such a volatile scenario, just trying to hold your own and on defense against Billy when you're not even playing a Billy yourself. I imagine it's even worse when you just don't have the defensive capabilities of like 90% of the cast to really expose those great guard cancel opportunities that xyzz was trying to take advantage of, had showcased, but just wasn't enough.
And so many challenges, that the instinct that Xiao Hai has to be punishing those challenges in the right way every time. Of course, the confirmations were right there. xyzz was feeling the heat.
And them empty jump close Ds were definitely blowing up xyzz's attempt to like maybe take the throw.
Feel hype. Okay, they got some love for you in here, Xiao Hai. Congratulations on your first win. What I wanted to ask you is, you have been competing in SNK games for so long. What does it feel like to see how far that is taking you and how far the game has expanded?
首先，恭喜小孩战胜了你的第一个对手。你呢，已经打了 SNK 的游戏，打了在这个电竞环境里面打了这么多年了。现在能看到 SNK 游戏在他们整个电竞环境走到现在这个地位上，你有什么感受呢？
我很高兴，我打了 SNK 游戏，可能打了30年了，第一次我还能坚持到他能站上这么个舞台，我很庆幸，很荣幸，我会好好打好这个比赛。
I am very happy. I'm absolutely jubilant because I've been playing SNK games for almost 30 years now. And, you know, being able to see its growth from back in the day till this stage at the Esports World Cup, it makes me so happy, it makes me so fulfilled, and I will definitely be doing my best to push it forward and to do my absolute best at this tournament.
Okay, love to hear that, Xiao Hai. I love the positivity. But you know, I also like a little bit of smoke, a little bit of drama. They say heavy is the head that wears the crown, ladies and gentlemen. And we all know that these players here are gunning for you. They think that you are the best, at least most of the fans do. How does it feel to know that all the other competitors have prepped hard for you? Does it make you nervous?
小孩，因为你作为卫冕冠军嘛，是众所周知的一种就是目标，然后所有其他选手都会针对你，都会专门对你做出一定的研究，而且还有那个战术上面的针对。就想问你，你知道这一点，感觉有压力吗？
我感觉还蛮痛苦的，因为如果不算上台湾的话，中国大陆就我一个人，我来到这里我都不敢跟别人练习，我怕我的招式被他的同伴一起研究，所以我只能自己去练。但尽管如此，我也会打好它。我不管遇到什么样的过程，我都会做好它。
I definitely feel the pressure. Being the only Chinese representative here at this tournament, I have no other practice partners that I can confidently practice with, because anyone that I do scrim or practice with will definitely be studying my playstyles and, you know, finding out ways to counter me. So I definitely feel the pressure in that sense, but that won't stop me from doing my best, from doing everything that I can to clinch the championship.
Love that answer right there. Spoken like a true champion, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen Xiao Hai under pressure last year in another title, and he was able to get it done here at EWC, and he is trying to repeat and do the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and send things over to our casters.
Hey, man, you know, you heard it straight from the king's mouth himself. He is not exactly super comfortable, but ready for all challengers.
Yeah, man, and he understands the pressure. He knows that everybody is studying him. Everybody wants his number, but Xiao Hai, he's hard to get.
Well, so
he will be keeping that close to heart.
The funny thing about that, though, is like, man, I wanted him to say, you know, I do this every year, bro. Like, come on.
I am the form of water. I will take unlimited number of forms in order to stay at the top. That's it, but Pockets, the reality is here. One of your boys, one of the Stars and Stripes representatives has arrived here. Chris G will be facing who, my dear Hell Pocket?
Koji KOG, grappler extraordinaire, multi-game beast extraordinaire. But also, Chris G.
Another beast,
another multi-game beast in himself, you know? And, you know, I'm gonna be honest right now. I definitely had a moment with Chris G at Combo Breaker 2025 where I had to grab him by the ear and say, hey, bro, you need to start believing in yourself. You're in top 8 on winner's side. That's no accident.
Against many monsters.
Against many monsters. And a lot of people said that neither you nor Reynold nor anybody else from the U.S. was going to make top 8. And people call me a biased commentator for that. And I'll be honest, I was.
Of course.
Because I was being challenged by many individuals, both online and offline. And what do you know?
He's here.
He made top 3.
And he is here, no other that in one of the most prestigious and maybe one of the most competitive events of esports so far for this game and many others. So let's see, because yet again, KOG is part of the Billy Brigade. And that's not the best news for Chris G, but of course he's most done great.
I know I say he's a grappler extraordinaire, but not feeling the grapplers in this game quite yet, so he has opted for Billy. Had a tremendous showing at CEO 2025, and he's looking to continue that great showing of Billy into the near future. But Chris G also might be a little comfortable with this matchup as we're seeing him currently.
You were talking about the future where Chris G wants to walk right into there. KOG finally fights back. Gets away of the corner, fighting his way out. Little by little gets Chris G into overheat. He will try to face these legit
guards. Yeah. Oh, the challenge at the end says the window was not tight enough, man.
As you were saying before, in this event, you only have to speak truth with your buttons pockets.
And especially against a character like Hokutomaru, who has the 4-frame low A, it's really difficult, especially for Billy, who's got nothing near a 4-framer, to really do any fake screens against the kid. Chris just needed the match there.
Guys, that was so close for a grab pop.
Oh, he caught him
to get it. But look at this. This is perfect situation for Chris G.
And he overheated himself looking for that air rev blow. And
this is the way you capitalize pocket. You bring the pressure. Yeah,
that's going to be the game for Chris G.
Let's go. Get the rainbow, then the shurikens to end. Chris G is feeling nice.
I would imagine right now that he feels like $1 million.
Oh, look at him.
Because he's like, wow, you're going to burn yourself. You're going to overheat yourself.
Yeah.
Well, with a rev blow. And you're going to use the air rev blow. It gives me all day to whiff punish. And then I'm going to get like 2 sequences for the end of the first game. Absolutely.
And sign
Let's
that
keep
victory.
that going.
Sign that victory on his name. Immediately, very interesting that we see KOG immediately going back into it. Chris G is the one taking a little bit of time right now as we see a little bit of information from this place. Look at that stage, man. Where else can you see something of this caliber?
Hey, man, that stage is tight. But what's even tighter is the fact that Chris G played that first round so aggressively that he almost overheated himself. Ended up getting overheated anyway, but did not lose the momentum one bit, and that's good City of the Wolves.
Yeah, completely right. Like, when you get into overheat, the best thing you can do is keep going. Oh, what a jump in over here by KOG.
Yeah, that shuriken from Chris G there, definitely too close from a very active Billy to really be throwing that out. And there it is again. Got to be careful. And Billy does have a button that can punish that, as you saw just there. And if you get the counter hit from the landing frames on that, you get to pretty much go into almost anything that's available.
This is big. KOG is trying to get out of the corner, but Chris G has been making the reads. Finally, he gets inside. The Japanese player is going to have a chance right here as the pressure keeps going on.
And you're seeing here also Hokutomaru also suffering from a lack of defensive options here that don't require a meter. And Chris G not looking for the reversal super yet. Close to getting guard broken again.
They are trying to go for it. Nice. What a really great reaction. As you said, you cannot allow these Billies to tell lies.
Still might get guard broken anyway. There it is. And it just needed one more hit to make it happen. And he spent the bar for the reversal. Could not hold on to the momentum.
That was expensive for sure.
Yes.
Money in the ground. But Chris G can make this back, that's for sure. Of course, KOG has a full set of resources. And now the pressure is on. Because we know we are getting knocked out of that SPG, my dear Hellpack.
Yeah, beautiful punish on the elevator attack there. Not a lot of people swinging on that, but Chris G with the optimal punch with the down T, holding on to the corner pressure, and Goichi taking a lot of big risks just jumping out against this character who pretty much has air superiority over the Billy, in my opinion.
Okay, with the ignition gear, we're gonna get Hokutomaru against the corner. The pressure is on from Koji, maintaining the stop. The neutral jump is not gonna
get overheated again.
No, trying to go for everything. trying to get Chris G away from his resources, but then again, the ignition gear is going to hit.
And there it is again. He cannot afford to let go of it. He got it again.
Nice.
That's going to be the round for Chris G.
And what you were saying, like he is not getting scared in the overheat situation. He's going forward.
Exactly, because he knows he can't afford to let that offense loop too many times. The Billy is able to overheat you so quickly without spending a lot of resources on his end. And then once he overheats you, then he can rev dump on you to break the guard.
Oh, the read using the SPG armor in order to push forward. But of course, KOG, is not going to slouch here, trying to keep Chris G always in overheat. That's like the strategy in Koji.
And it's crazy to say right now, but Chris G cannot afford to block here. It's crazy, right? I know, but it's like if he blocks, it's probably going to be a guard break.
It's going to be expensive, of course.
Here we go.
And Koji is going to get
he jumped that. No!
Wow! So late.
Was not ready for the just defend on the end of that fireball super.
The overheat is going to save his life. He didn't have a chance to continue that. Great stuff over there, Chris G punishing with perfect spacing. We are looking at amazing stuff from NY Chris G.
Yeah, man, like I want to say Chris G playing this about as well as he can, given the adversity that the Koji KOG is throwing his way.
And look at this. The pressure keeps going, one up and below. You are against the corner, Koji. What are you going to do? So far, Chris G has been able to overwhelm.
Oh, he's on him like flies on paper, right? On fly paper right now. I mean, he just stuck to him.
Look at this. Right in the center of the stage, trying to find something. He's going to do it, but he overextended. The punish is going to be here. And this is what you can allow KOG to do, Pockets.
Nah, not at all. But at the same time, Chris G's backing it up. He said, hey, man, you still have to put the damage on me. I have the life lead, and I'm better at running away than you are. At the same time, Billy Kane with a lot of opportunities to catch Hope tomorrow.
Ooh, the mix. He keep on going. The way that Chris has to believe.
And, well, Koji keeps trying to jump out of Hope tomorrow pressure, which I'm not certain that it's impossible, but it's not working.
And it's not safe when you are in match point, man. Like it's very dangerous to be doing that. Of course, he went for 2 grabs in the row for Chris G, keeping it going into the corner a little bit more and more. Nice challenge over there. The down B is going to give Koji a chance, but then again, Chris G waking up with those level 1, with those initial gears, he's doing a lot.
Koji's just betting everything on the meaties here. And, like, you know, a wake-up super is a way of life for Hope tomorrow right now. You have to assume that's coming eventually.
And Chris G has that instinct that he knows that KOG wants to go for those in the air to where he's going to win it.
He's dead. He's
going to take this even in the overheat. He's going to be able to finish it with the overheat. Look at Chris G. Maybe he has changed in something, Pockets. Maybe he's starting to believe.
I mean, I hope so, because he played that so well, and he was in control of so much of that match. And I don't think that it's super good for Billy, but I also think that, you know, everybody struggles against Billy right now. He didn't struggle at all.
No, I don't like to say it in a scenario like this, but that looked kind of free.
You know, this is the biggest weekend for City of the Wolves, yet sometimes you just got to call a spade, man.
Yeah, it was it. And look at that. Chris G looking like a boss right here. I'm sure.
We are not in the business of sugarcoating it.
Yeah, completely right.
You know?
we call them like we look at them, and you have to be proud that one of the 2 representatives of the United States have shown his prowess right here, Hellpack.
Well, I got to say right now, as a commentator for SNK Games for as long as I've been, I'm always proud to see our guys do any work, and our guys mean anybody playing an SNK game on any stage in the world. So I'm happy that they're putting on a great show for everybody, including us, with the best seats in the house.
Yeah, that's right, Pucks, as you say, and we hope you are doing fine over there. Our keyboard canyoneers, are you happy? Are you not entertained, chat? Because we are having some of the best action you can find today.
That's right. Now remember, though, the winners are not done for the day yet. They're going to have some matches later on in the day where they play through their winner's side. But the people who lost, their day's finished. They hit the showers, come back tomorrow, elimination round.
Yeah. It is no over in a double elimination bracket. You have 2 lives. If you want to explain it in some video game motto, you have 2 lives. The first time you only have lost to the first one, you will survive in the elimination bracket. But here is our future right now. Fenrich will be facing Falco Zone ET, and you already know the Falcons over there at the Amazon Esports Arena are gonna be swinging those wings.
Oh yeah, most certainly. They are very excited to see ET perform here live and in person. A lot of them probably having followed ET throughout his career. Very illustrious KOF player. Definitely one of the most winningest KOF players
for sure
in the history of the game. So can't imagine what it's like being both a Falcons fan and an ET fan in the building right now.
Oh, but in front of him, Fenrich, like he is also a multi-game prodigy, and it will be very interesting to see what's his offer to face ET, who not only has all the story and experience, but of course a full crowd of people claiming for him for his victory over here at Rija.
Oh yeah, man, I cannot wait to see. And honestly, I just can't wait to see Fenrich play in general, because he had such a tremendously dominant showing throughout the first 3 months of the game. Almost winning Evo Japan.
Very close to.
Very close. Getting his SWC spot at, I believe, is Brussels Challenge. And then he just started traveling just for the heck of it. He's like, hey, let me just step on some throats.
Yeah, let me get some dojo.
He's like, yeah,
names.
He's like, let me not. Like a lot of people qualified, and we're like, okay, we're done. We're taking a break. We're going into the cave. We're training. But Fenrich was kind of all over the place.
Jabali spotted, someone in the chat would say, as we are setting everything up. Of course, Fenrich, one of the kings in this bracket, a very particular one. I really like the style that he has. Always in the mind of controlling their opponents. But of course, Kane has this very special trait of being able to switch into game styles incredibly fast. And of course, that's one of the things we are going to see with French. If of course, ET is not able to stop him.
Is ET playing Billy?
He just selected him. But
so I had heard that
this is a button check so far, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's ET, and if you've watched ET in the past, you know he has quite a cast of characters at his disposal in KOF, and one of them most famously was Billy Kane in 14.
That's completely right. One, maybe the strongest Billy in 14.
Yes, by far. And that's why it was somewhat surprising that he wasn't playing Billy Kane when the game dropped. Well, he had started out playing Hokutomaru. And
he went with the original trend, right?
I mean, I think he liked the character in general. And
but he's going
possibly,
for it.
No, yeah, and I had heard that he had started using Billy on his streams at home, but I didn't know if it was competition ready. And what a competition to whip it out, you know?
It looks like it. Selecting no. Oh, they're going up.
Oh yeah, he wants to handshake.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, no, ET.
Love that.
Forever a good sport. So
yeah. And one of the other players that have traveled long and wide, not only this year but all of the others. Maybe the player that has gone the most places while playing KOF. Like he has not been slouched to visiting exotic places like Latin America or far away from his natal country. So we will see what we are able to do right here, right now, as we start this game. And Fenrich, with that jump in, the killer instinct right here, Pockets, is showing up from the Japanese.
And this is real bad, man. You want to talk about not being able to get knocked down by anybody in the game currently. Yeah, man, like, Kine is not who Billy wants to be cornered and knocked down against at any time during the game.
Oh, but he fought his way out of it, getting Fenrich out of his own SPG, and the challenge yet again. Good stuff from ET. Trying to maintain. Where are you rolling for, bro? You're not going to fall into my traps? Of course
the guard cancel for Fenrich. He overheated himself, though.
It was delicious, Pocket. Now we know French is ready with the technology into the level 1. It's going to be enough. The Schwartz flames are burning right now.
I don't know if Billy's got a button to challenge that sequence, but, you know, ET was like, let's find out.
1, 2.
And Dash is back into the rondo.
You are going to feel it.
All right, he might not be long for this Billy game plan. He might go back to Hoka tomorrow after this.
It could be, but so far he still has one chance. No, of course he doesn't have a chance. Fenrich is saying, just shut up, mask jerk. He is going to be able to take it.
You know, honestly, and this is something that we've all seen throughout the season. You know, his record against Kynes is not very good. But I can't imagine that it's any better than that, you know, like that is Jesus.
Well, to be honest, yeah, that look again super dominant by Fenrich. In the end, getting even a perfect over ET. That's something not many people can say in the world. That let not legit perfect.
I mean, honestly, like ET. So, and this is something that I think is a fair characterization of ET in his later years of competition. Is that you get him cold, it can look kind of ugly for him.
Yeah.
But you get this guy hot, and he's like the nastiest individual you ever met.
But you call it, Pockets. He is back into Hoka tomorrow and already did more damage than full 2 rounds before.
Oh my God, that was a dirty cross-up if I've ever seen one.
Disgusting. Oh, trying to go with the tricky stuff. But French is not already in this defensive side until he wakes up pressing buttons.
He said, I want a perfect 2. I want to play this game, man. Let me play 2.
Look at him. I should have trusted the Shiranui style. That's what he is thinking right now.
Yeah, he got a game on me on a humbug.
Oh!
And Fenrich swinging for the fences here on a double jump.
That was sexy against the corner. Let's see. Hey. Going for the first grab. Are we going to see the second? Let's see. No, he tried. He tried, though.
He's looking for a double perfect here. One more touch. Oh, no, nothing doing. But, hey, still a tremendous life lead. He's losing some momentum here.
Look at the
challenge with the I agree.
It doesn't matter if I'm heating up.
What was that? Cool on. It was like a setup for something, but he ended up blocking anyway. And he's about to get overheated if he ends up. Why would you challenge that?
Fenrich is trying to bring this back with a sliver of life. With the magic pixel on his side. No!
That low B was coming eventually because you can only loop that pressure so much, especially in the corner, to the point where if you go for the low A as kind, it's going to whiff. And that low B from Hoka tomorrow is going to snuff it out every time.
He wanted to be a hero. Fenrich there, unable to. And look at the Falcon fans. They are really flying high right now with the support of ET. Let's see, trying to maintain something here. Oh no, you are not going to grab me today, boy.
I think that might have been a little bit of an autopilot there because there's nothing really keeping the kind grounded for the throw in the first place.
Oh, that's another box. Another flame.
And what are these challenges, man? ET looking for like to thread the needle?
That's weird. That's weird. He's trying to play the dangerous game. Of course, it's possible, but very expensive if you fail, Pat.
Nice! And this is not looking good for ET, but Fenrich, man, finding his sea legs here. We can't take anything away from Fenrich. He is a tremendous competitor in his own right, and he's getting the great looks from ET right now.
I love it. The challenge, the way to go for the just defense, and look at this perfectly planned punish.
Double perfect. I'm calling it right now. He can get a low B. Yeah, the low B is the only thing he's going to get. He's not getting that momentum back. The kind still has another bar. It's so much that he just can't do.
Yeah, still with the SPG, so many options over there for no other than Fenrich, who is going to take game number 2. Damn. What a mental fortitude after what happened with the character change. Fenrich is able to come back.
I mean, like we were saying, man, like ET is a very momentum-based player. If he gets the momentum and it's solid, he is a very tough individual to deal with. But I think he's believing a little too much in Fenrich's, not only the throw system, the throw mechanics, but also Fenrich's decision-making to stay grounded in the face of that.
Again, he made that mistake last round, and Fenrich, of course, is going to get that punish.
I mean, I get it. You don't want to block the rondo setups all the time, but you just got to. Otherwise, you eat so much unnecessary damage.
I'm not going to lie, people. I'm not going to lie to you, Pocket. ET is looking a little bit shaky, like not the usual way that we like to see it, but it's what this stage can do. And Fenrich is stepping up to the challenge in a fantastic way, but he got into the corner.
Hold on a second. This could be good.
He got him again with the jump, and he wasn't ready for it. He didn't believe, Pocket.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And he gives Fenrich a jump into his own in the corner, and Fenrich is not going to drop that. No. You better believe it.
And now with a match point on his side. Stay out of here, kid.
That was a guard cancel too, but just once again, ET's Hoka tomorrow in general, unable to guard cancel battle safely without spending meter.
What a way over there to use the ignition gear to stay alive. Still with a chance. No, there is no chance.
And we'll see you tomorrow, E.T.
Wow, another Falcon who has to fall down this winner side of the bracket, this upper bracket. I'm sure, look at him, he's so happy. I would be too if I was able to get a 3-1 victory over ET. Something that will never happen, of course. But of course, Fenrich is able to do it.
Yeah, you can see the Falcons fan base a little confused, a little hurt, seeing that go down as badly as it did.
That was our boy.
That's your boy, man. And like I gotta say, the Hoka Tomorrows don't come much stronger than ET, and Fenrich just makes pretty short work of him.
Shout out to our specialist Justin Won, who was telling us out of air that indeed there was a losing record for ET against Kain, and that's gonna stay there as we live again all of these moments where ET tried to surprise us and Fenrich with his Billy Kane, and he got, well, stopped.
Combo videoed. Yeah. That's what you're watching right there, the combo video on Billy Kane. I wanted to see more of the Billy Kane, but it was pretty obvious that he needed more time baking in the oven before he was ready to serve to the Kains.
But there was also some mistakes, like I think were beyond the character selection pockets. We saw a big throw attempt that was a little bit too early that got Fenrich a chance to start all of this momentum.
And I'm not sure we're going to see it here, but you're absolutely right, Colt. Like the way that ET won the second game with the Hoka Tomorrow had nothing to do with reversal throw attempts or even aggressive throw attempts. And all of a sudden, in the third game and then the fourth game, you saw ET just looking for throws where there just weren't any. And I feel like that's just weird muscle memory, possibly from playing infinite amount of ranked matches online, that people will eat that stuff online. And you're like, okay, maybe I can get away with this, but not today, brother.
But what we are going to have today, Pockets, is this game, because T1 CJC is going to face your boy, Reynold.
So this is definitely my favorite to take the whole darn thing. I'm going to be consistent in my predictions. I've been predicting since the beginning of this game's lifespan that Reynold would be one of the best, if not the best player in the world for it, and I'm sticking by that.
You can hear it, people. All the way from the west coast of the United States, all the way from the state of California, Reynold is here to fight again. T1 CJC from Taiwan. Look at this. People are having a great time here at the City of the Wolves scenario, Pockets.
Yeah, no, I gotta say hats off rather, to the organizers and definitely the staff. Shout outs to everybody making this event work. It has been an incredible week so far, just setting up, and we're just getting started, honestly. I just can't imagine how much more hype, how much more heated it's gonna get in here past the first round. Especially when people start fighting for their livelihoods.
It's such a ruthless competition, Pockets. We are watching champions fall into lower bracket today, as you say. The winners
had to happen.
It had to happen, yeah, of course. But they went immediately, and this is moving so fast. Of course, now we will see CJC again right now. CJC won the only, if I am not wrong, the only Hotaru remaining in this among these players.
Yeah, I think it was the only Hotaru that showed up. But then again, it's one of those scenarios where, like, how many of these guys possibly had a Hotaru month one of the game's lifespan?
Like everyone.
I think everyone had to at least spend time with her, you know? And now Billy is the character that is in everyone's pocket. We're seeing Reynold over here on a side screen practicing the button check with Billy. Previously at the Button Smashers in LA, where he just won, he unveiled the Billy in competition. And, hold on a second.
We are watching.
Did we get head faked?
I know you guys cannot see what we are seeing, and we are not going to spoil the surprise. We can see Reynold dead on focus.
This is a very Reynold. I'll just say it's a very Reynold move.
It would be nice. It would be nice to see. Of course, I am excited to see CJC with Hotaru. My main, like I am a Hotaru main ever since the past game. Love her, like super cute. Super deadly in this game, so too. I am.
She is definitely very versatile. Good damage as well. They took a little bit of the edge off of her with the limiting of.
But she's still living on that positive side.
Oh no,
she's
still positive. I think she's still really good.
She's super.
Normalizing her light punch DP and shrinking the hitbox under
with the command grab that comes out incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Let's see. Finally, we are here, ready to go as Hotaru will face no other than Reynold's character that you are going to see right now. Maybe feel excited because he's Kane.
His Kane is on the board, man. Like, I'm not saying that I thought he was done playing the character, but I definitely had seen him commit heavy to Billy in recent weeks, and I thought this was going to be the major debut. But we're sticking with the Kane for now.
The challenge over there when Hotaru was trying to approach with CJC made it was harsh, and now CJC is going to feel the pain because AG Reynold is here to play the game, and he's going to bring the sun out.
Look at that damage on that, just from the jump in into all the sequence. And yeah, this guy is
final boss energy, bro.
Absolutely brutal, man.
Immediately CJC tries to go against those dashes, and now with the quad punish, Reynold is showing CJC that he will not be able to play this game for free.
Yeah, you have to play fast against this character, especially Reynolds' kind. Otherwise, you're going to get ran over.
Remember, guys, SPG is a resource, not a strategy, and Reynold is showing that, using it perfectly to stop CJC's momentum for once. But of course, now the Taiwan player playing all for T1, one of the biggest teams in the world, is trying to do something that Reynold got over.
Counter hit meaty close D, and this is probably going to take the round.
Just love to see this. With the ignition gear is going to be enough. Call emergency room because we have an electroshock in your chest.
We got a real match as well, though. That was looking like it was going to be on Reynolds' side the entire time, and just the momentum shift into the overheat puts Reynolds into a bad situation. What? He thought he still had a button there.
Sadly, he was unable to confirm, but CJC says, come on, bro, you can do it again. I'm dropping combos all over the place.
What is happening here, man?
Oh, this is not good. That is very unconventional from Reynold.
That's unfortunate because he had two big punishes there, and he just needed to spin meter, which he has two stock of, and he refused to do both, and now he's stuck in a corner getting overheated.
Don't tell me he's gonna take
the big jumping double was on
drop it again.
Too shallow, but he's cooling himself down at least.
So that's back dashes are gonna be dangerous. The cancel is perfect from CJC. He didn't decide to go forward, but catches the landing. Yet again, right now, what's happening, Pockets?
Oh, man, we have to have a talk about this afterwards. He's looking like he's having some technical difficulties possibly because that's money right there. The low B to low C, it's a super. You got to be able to rip those at any moment.
And I'm honest with you, Pocket. That round was not won by CJC. It was lost by Reynold.
I would absolutely agree with that.
He opened up that Hotaru enough times to kill her twice.
Yes, and ZJZ was giving him much looks of desperation when things weren't going his way, and Reynold, to his credit, was punishing, just wasn't completing the cycle.
Immediately he went back into it, so it's not a technical problem, I think. And now he's looking as the Reynold that we know. But CJC, of course, he's a beast on his own. Another player with a large series of victories. And he is right now not allowing Reynold to shine.
Right, both of these guys, SNK Evo champions in their own right. They are most certainly going to be putting on a display and then following matches.
Let's see against the corner. CJC.
How he challenges that.
The challenge was not there. This game is so scary when you're pressing buttons, and CJC is going to get the best out of it.
Yeah, he don't look happy at all, man.
He has to focus right now, Pockets. Again, those approaches. Reynold was able to stop him once, and the wild punish. Come on, Reynold. Now the punish is here, finally, and the damage is done.
You know, interesting enough, he pretty much had this sequence on lock previously, and just was starting to drop everything after like maybe 2 reps of this. So I'm happy to see that he's able to complete it here.
So
but we need to see the finish off.
We want to see the golden letters. No, CJC is going to fight back. The SPG is not going to hit on the air to where he's losing the perfect. But sadly, CJC got into the corner.
Wake up throw, huh? I mean, hey, whatever works, right?
That's the catch.
Sometimes it's the simple stuff. All right. Yeah, Rep Panzer out the gate. We win those trades, or win the exchange, really.
I like what's going on right now.
That wasn't active enough for it, but he got it anyway. I think ZJ Thieves thought the Roundo explosion was going to lock him in place.
This is good, not only because Reynold is going to show us the hidden gear, el secreto, el oculto, but of course, the stars are gonna fall down, but this also shows that Reynold has shaken those mistakes from the past, and now he's playing on his prime. We are going to see at least 2 more games, Puck.
Yeah, tremendous adjustment there, and you can see it on Reynolds' face, like he is relieved that the adjustment came through when it needed to. I think maybe he was playing a little too quickly in the first game, and he had to slow down just the physical execution just to be able to.
Wow. Wow. And then a big mistake from CJC, but Reynold is unable to capitalize out of it. There is money now on the floor. and CJC is gonna deliver a full punish, then crossing, guessing perfectly that roll, and it's going to be enough for CJC to get round number 1.
Yeah, she's a two-toucher for that very reason right there. You try to roll on her, she does have the chase tech available, and she can put so much damage on you, especially with counter hit. And once again, ZJZ getting caught by the exploding Rondo, just being a little overzealous on offense.
Yeah, getting out that grab perfectly. CJC, what Reynold is fighting to keep him on the corner.
And once again, Reynold finding just so many straight hits and not able to complete the cycle on the damage strings, not spinning the meter when he has the hit, getting overheated, and then gambling on the Lanze reversal that, I mean, honestly, one of the worst reversals in the game, in my opinion. It's not a bad one, what I mean, but like, you know.
But we have other great ones.
Yeah.
Sadly, Reynold is overheated against the corner. He will have to play this legit, but is not going to be enough. Perfect crush over there by CJC, who is going to take the lead 2-1. Let's see, no, he has to control, he has to concentrate pockets.
I don't know if it's emotions. I don't know if it's him not being used to playing the character after so long, because he had been spending so much time with the Billy. But ZJZ is not showing him a ton of scary scenario.
And I'm going to be honest, CJC is also looking shaky. We have seen
I'm
him
going to
drop
say, like,
combos.
yeah, there's something on both sides.
Those empty DPs have been all over the place. Like, it's there's a lot of pasta in the floor.
There's a lot of pasta on the floor here, and like that. Reynolds' logo, his image right there, is definitely representative of the headache you're feeling right now. Like, dang, can't get anything right now.
I'm getting a little bit of headache, he says. Like, where are the bills? Oh, I almost made a mistake there. Ooh. But what we are enjoying indeed is a full roller coaster or emotions as CJC from T1 is facing AG's Reynold Hell Pockets.
Yeah, no, I want to see both of these guys tighten up, basically. If I had to demand anything from them, is for both of them to believe in their options that they are choosing rather than abandoning them or just doing them half-heartedly.
Oh, that's just what Reynold needed. Not only the character change, but the damage that he's placing on with the grab. He's still working on a perfect bot. He's going to get check back that crouch C, and now CJC is not going to get the damage, but also the corner, as Reynold tried to get out, he's going to stay there, grounded in his corner.
All right, once again, you see Billy not with a lot of defensive options.
No!
And now the counter
that
hit.
was delicious.
This is, he didn't want to finish off. I don't think he could have finished off the Billy there, but still let him roll out of the corner. That's not the best scenario. Yeah.
Whoa, delicious challenge. This is some tasty Garo that we're watching, some tasty Fatal Fury, but CJC is going to march over to the match point right here.
And this is once again like Billy, this is Reynolds' last chance. And if he wins, he's stuck with the Billy.
Oh, and we're gonna see that now, only level 1. He didn't want it to go with the hidden gear, want to stay with the resources. Reynold has, of course, a full bar of border, and he's gonna spend one with the ignition gear, trying to get CJC out of that SPG. That was a great poke.
And then you saw, like, it's really difficult to push him out of there because his extension on his attacks are so far that even if you push block, he's probably still going to tag you.
The challenger again. Finally, Reynold is detecting those moments where CJC is trying to break their approach. Of course, the shorter range from Hotaru is a risk, and he is finally
taking that hyper defense into the Soshin. To say, hey, man, you know, you showed it to me 5 times. I got to find an answer to it eventually.
And with Billy, that answer has been found. CJC still on match point. What a read over there, We are going to have a parade.
He's holding on to that, though. He spent a lot of rev meter on that. Didn't do a lot of damage.
It's revving up right now, 66%.
Oh, that cross caught him backwards or jumping back.
Is he going for the ignition gear? Not yet, not again.
No, with the hard knockdown in the corner. One more touch is going to do it for the Hotaru. ZJZ smelling blood in the water. The cross under low G.
The confidence that you have to do that in the brink of elimination.
That's right.
Or at least to the loser side of the
And he's revving up on top of that. He's finally back in threat level green. He can't afford to block too much more, and that's gonna do it. CJC is gonna move on.
No, I can't believe it. It looked like he had a mistake, but picked that right up. CJC is going to move forward. Reynold is still alive. He will be able to survive later today. But what a performance here from T1's own CJC.
Yeah, man, ZJZ moving on to the winner side, and Reynold going to be down on the loser side. Done for the day. Definitely going to have some time to think about what went wrong there, and obviously come back tomorrow stronger, hopefully. But ZJZ, man, just managing to hold it together long enough to snatch a victory there. But like, I got to be honest, man, that was shaky.
No, both of them, yes. CJC is in some way, I'm going to say it, this is not to pamper you, my dear Pockets. He got a little bit lucky that Reynold was not in his best momentum because he was also dropping a lot, not like we have seen from previous players that were solid as rock.
I'll say Reynold was dropping, but ZJZ was swinging into bad scenarios.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if he just wasn't used to seeing them or if he thought he had a window there just like by the miracle of miracles. But there was a lot of opportunities for Reynold to put this guy away multiple times with the kind, and it just never gelled.
One will always have that question, if Billy had come out, would he be able to get used to the matchup a little bit better? Reynold had those fantastic spots where he was trying to move forward, but Nemo was a little bit too short from one CJC that I don't know if he will be able to keep going on with against other players with this level.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, I mean, we're not out there, right?
No,
we're over here talking about this, and I don't know what it's like playing on the setup.
Or a scenario like that.
Yeah, they both seem kind of exasperated, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And we are only mentioning because we are not used to see them like that.
No. All right, well, I'm used to taking a break after a couple of matches right now. So let's see what the sponsors have to say to us, and we'll be right back with more Fatal Fury City of the Wolves action.
I stepped into a realm of wonders where the sun kisses the sea. Two worlds inspired by each other. Two worlds making one. This land is calling, Saudi Red Sea.
Our opening 4 matches definitely delivered as we complete our first round of fixtures in Groups A and B. And our analysts have been here in the studio paying close attention to give you their expert insight. Let's take a look at some of that action from Group A, as of course we saw our SMB match of the day kick it off, and it was Xiao Hai versus xyzz. All eyes were on Xiao Hai, of course, going into that matchup. Guys, it was the Billy Kay mirror as we were expecting, and Xiao Hai proved dominant there. What set him apart?
His offense. Well, we were talking earlier about his offense versus Zizzy's defense, and Xiao Hai's offense has dominated Zizzy's defense.
Yeah, so Xiao Hai, he repeatedly put XYZZY into these guessing situations, the plus one, plus two situations over and over and over again. Outguessed him every time, outmaneuvered him basically, and he managed his meter a lot better as well as a result.
That was pivotal, the meter management. Billy Kane was close to overheat so many times that really made ZZY focused on that, and Xiao Hai just took the initiative, went right in, got the strike throws.
Of course, let's take a look at how the bracket looks after that. We had our second match as well, which saw Chris G put in a tremendous performance. Guys, we knew Chris G could do it, but did you think it would be as emphatic a statement as that?
I think for sure we were a little surprised at the vitriol that Chris G came out with, right? We saw the tweet. My man was a little pressed about the gauntlet of Billies, but obviously having to fight all his Billies, Chris was able to do his homework and find what he needed, the X factor in that matchup.
He was able to catch a lot of stray hits that Billy was whipping, and he was able to convert good damage off them. He made sure that he controlled the pace of the match rather than letting Billy dominate him. And in this case, Billy wasn't playing any kind of keep away. Billy was trying to go after him. And Chris G noticed that, and he took advantage. I don't want to say optimally, but he took great advantage.
Chris, I think the way he approached the matchup, like, he really wanted to be the one on offense. He didn't want to have to play neutral and give kind of, that's where the neutral is where he kind of struggles a bit, right? But anyways, yeah, he took the fight to him.
On your screen right now, you can see, of course, highlights from that first fixture as Xiao Hai, representing KSG, sent Team Falcons to their first loss of the day. And I have to shout out the Falcons fans in the arena. They were definitely present and making some noise, but unfortunately didn't get the result there. Let's talk about this Chris G match. If there's any specific interactions here that you guys see that you want to call out.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what Aru was saying, where Aru and Gibby actually, where Chris G wanted to stay focused, right? He wanted to stay on control. Right there, you see him getting overheated, not even pressed though. Guard is broken, but Chris was able to find a way in. I mean, you have to do that to Billy. You can't let Billy get in. Lucky break on the super, we take those though.
Yeah, his honestly, his reversals were
match first, of course. ET, a storied player, a very decorated player in the history of
every single flash kick that was put out in the ether was taken from ET. ET did not block any one of those, and that's a move you want to have in spades for this matchup to deter Billy Kane's offense away from you, and just to really set the pacing and set the tone. Fenrich was coming up rich.
Yeah, and Fenrich, I want to say, like, one of the things that really stuck out to me in that
full screen.
I don't know. He's my buddy. He's my friend. It's kind of hard for me to break it down. I'm gonna leave it to you guys.
Reynold switched to the Billy Kane here. It was basically the same thing over and over and over again, trying to create those situations, trying to outguess the other guy.
Yeah. Hotaru's a character that you don't really see as prominently in this current patch, but the players that have stuck with her are still getting the work done. What is it that was happening here with these interactions that was leading to these results?
It was just ZJZ being ZJZ. Like Aru said, they both were kind of scrambling early on with the matches, like trying to press for control. ZJZ just tapped into his lameness, right? He saw a lot of like whiff DPs initially. Once he slowed those down and he stopped with as many kind of like weird like block strings with the feints and with the high kicks, it just set back, looked outside from the box and started to capitalize on all the whiff 2Cs from Reynold. That's really what it came down to. It was just excellent neutral.
And he got a good read on like Reynolds, like when he wanted to push the offense. And when he wanted to, like,
methodical with his defense, it's very hard to open him up and get in on him. And he proved right here that, hey, you can't.
Legends. All eyes are on Xiao Hai, and he delivered in that first fixture with the 3-1 victory. Let's take a look at this short video compilation to explain exactly what his pedigree is and exactly how he managed to become the first player ever to compete in 2 distinctly different titles at the Esports World Cup.
That's the end of Street Fighter 6. Make some noise for your Esports World Cup champion, Xiao Hai!
Last year, he lit up the stage at EWC with a masterclass in Street Fighter 6. Now, Xiao Hai returns, not just as a champion, but as a symbol of what's possible in the fighting game world. Fury's growing dominance in the ecosystem. From local scenes to the global stage, this game is where legends are being made.
I respect all my opponents, but there are some I'm excited to meet again. Rivalries push me further, and when I look ahead, I don't just think about winning, I think about legacy. If I could speak to the Xiao Hai in the finals, I'd say stay calm, play your game, and trust the work you put in.
From King of Fighters to Street Fighter to Fatal Fury, Xiao Hai's journey isn't just about titles, it's about pushing boundaries. And this time, all eyes are on what comes next.
Well, what comes next for Xiao Hai is a upper bracket winners final after getting the job done in Group A. We're going to be moving on into Group C and D, and my analysts here have got their opinions on the fixtures coming up. Let's take a look at Group C and our opening match. We pointed it out earlier on. This could be a fixture that could be happening in multiple titles.
How do you deal with his offense once he knocks you down? And, oh, bro.
I mean, I'm very excited to see, right? Goichi, always a player that we love to watch, right? Always exciting. But you could say the same about Nemo, right? Nemo,
incredible defense. So hard to crack him open, and it's the same story here as well. You've got so many different defensive mechanics that you can utilize to get to reverse the situation, and now we're going to see a lot of that from Goichi.
And then with the following match, we've got Kendu versus Dark Angel. We got our first and only Terry in the bracket. And I know, Rome, you are the biggest Dark Angel supporter here.
I am a Dark Angel fan. I mean, we've got to see him in his own region do well, but now he's coming back here to the EWC for the first time.
Moving on into Group D, and let's take a look at this bracket with the upcoming fixtures. And our opening round gives us Punko versus Moke and RB versus the Geo. Punko representing Weibo. Let's talk about this fixture.
Yeah, I mean, Punko versus Moke, I mentioned it before, but the two of them, they're pretty close. I mean, whenever they travel out together, you know, they're always looking out for each other, that type of thing. They train together very frequently, so it's going to be on like we're already going to be on like layer 4 or 5 when these two play each other, which is going to be really interesting. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, and we got RB, baby. That's the match I want to see. RB versus the Geo. Gato versus Hulk tomorrow. RB getting all the way here on his own merits, and Geo taking a step out of Peru to do the best that he can. So that's going to be a hype match coming up. I cannot wait.
That's the one I'm looking forward to as well. This will be our first time seeing Gato on stage. Yeah. That's going to be good.
Let's take a look then at our first match coming up next, and it is going to be a doozy. Some of you at home will have seen these two competing across multiple titles, but we have them here for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Coming up next, it's Goichi versus Nemo, and that happens after this.
Reach your impossible, Lenovo Legion.
At the Amazon Arena, continuing on with our matches. I'm Milosh, one of your hosts here, of course, by my side, the one and only Rob Hollywood TV. I'm gonna get better and better at it as we go.
I ain't gonna lie, I like that right there. You put some respect on it right there. The Hollywood. I like that, Meloche. You know what I like even more, though? I'm not gonna lie to you. The level of play that we have seen up to this point. I mean, oh my goodness. Immediately, we get Xiao Hai versus xyzz. Not only did he go ahead, stand up against the pressure, and get that W in the Billy mirror, at the end in the interview, he said he can't even play against anyone. He knows it's everybody against him. He don't even get no training partners out.
Shine out, each representing two different branches of our beautiful FGC. One coming from...
Now, I feel like there's plenty of that in our future this weekend. It's starting out a little, you know, like a little tertiary. I think people are definitely a little, I won't say shook, but the weight of the assignment is definitely present in a lot of people's minds. We've seen people playing a little bit out of their character previously, but we've also seen some people come alive in the most crucial moments, and it's only been like, what, an hour?
Yes, only
been like an hour.
Only an hour, maybe an hour and 10. And the emotions have not stopped. Is a complete moment of how we have to carry this out, how this thrill ride of a tournament has to be taken by or survived by you and me, and of course all that beautiful people at this crowd over there at home. Please,
I mean, I hope they're having a good time, because these matches have been, if nothing else, entertaining to watch.
Still Falcons flying alive, and we will see what happens to them as we are fixing a little bit of a situation over here where technicians, expert technicians of the Esports World Cup at solving that very, very fast. But you can see him, you can see here all the people that have gathered around, all these FGC fans and all these Falcon fans who are excited to be here, part of a phenomenon that we have never seen before, Pockets. At least me, who comes from a humble place on the FGC.
You're always meeting new people, yeah.
The level of production, the spectacle that the Esports World Cup is offering, it's simply fantastic.
Yeah, no, I've certainly worked my fair share of events throughout my career as a commentator in the FGC, and this is definitely going to be up there with like the most produced production, I think, for certain. But more importantly than that, man, like just the ability, the opportunity to meet a lot of people that I've probably met and hung out with online, just never really put the face with the name, you know. That's been happening all weekend. That's the kind of thing that the FGC can make happen for a lot of people. You know, you can go to places that you never thought you'd be
Having friends all around the world.
All around the world, you know, and people say like, you know, what are you doing out there? Playing fighting games.
And how kind, how great has been the community here on Saudi Arabia to welcome us. Our Habibis, my cousin, Los Primos, on this side of the world have been just fantastic. As fantastic, what it's coming is going to be, I think. Things are ready. I think we're going to have a last bottle check. No, this is legit.
I think they were checking the entire time, but now they're just ready to jump into it. No more time wasted. The guard cancel Lanze. Get off of me, he says.
Immediately, Goichi is trying to go forward after that first mistake. The grab is going to land, pushing Billy little by little into the corner. Of course, Goichi representing the King crew, while Nemo is part of the Billy bunch. And he is being pressured in the corner. Normally, Billy is the one who is doing this, but right now, Goichi is delivering a little bit of his own.
You said normally Billy's the one doing it. Normally, Billy's the one that has to do it because it does not have those defensive options that a lot of the other cast members have. You saw that the guard cancel Lanze completely threw the entire offensive game plan of Nemo into whack.
Oh,
and he's he wanted too big of a punish, and it was too late for it, unfortunately. And now he's not. I don't think he's going to get it back.
Yeah,
because Billy don't let go of pressure once you get it.
He's gonna pay for that. SPG is out for Goichi.
He challenged.
Sadly, he pressed a button, and he is going to get all of it. Of course, Nemo very smartly going into overheat for this, and we are gonna see the hidden gear.
You know what? Just to get around, I don't hate that. You're gonna build super meter so quickly in this game that I think it's worth spending it for the round.
Yeah, completely right, man. I have said it many, many times. Economy works by spending. That's capitalism, baby. Spend to make money. And right now, Nemo is showing us that. Of course, he's going to have a little bit of a strategic disadvantage. right here, as he will have no resources. But still, as you say, it's about who gets the first opening pockets.
Yeah, and I think right now Goichi thought he had the first opening when the booger ball almost got hyper defended by Nemo, but it exploded on him anyway. But still hasn't been able to hold on to the offensive pressure there, and Nemo circumventing a lot of what is normally Kind's bigger hitboxes. You can't circumvent that though. That high dodge attack, if you're jumping in, you gotta just defend it.
Completely right. But Nemo Goichi was unable to capitalize out of it, and Nemo has getting the advantage. Get over here. A last mistake was a little bit too hard. Yes, that's gonna be punished. Nemo, after 2 mistakes from Goichi, is gonna take one. Look at that. That was unnecessary roughness, my friend.
Hey man, that
pogo was
on the dead body.
Where is that? Where is that? The yellow?
Hey,
yellow
he just had to make sure, you know. You never know, man. He might pop up on you.
Let's see, because Goichi is going forward, not a slouch after that first defeat. Only the first one.
And I'm going to say I liked how Goichi was playing that, because he was just defending the offensive strings from Billy, and he had shown the aptitude for the guard cancel to destroy that offensive pressure. But you've got to be sharp and on point of that every time. Billy forces that.
Completely right. Now with the operation session on the side.
Oh, we're going for the guard break. He got a little too green. And Nemo, I don't know if he recognized that was a short hop, but he was like, whatever, we're going for the reversal super either way.
Yeah, like it was the right reaction. And now, after that swing and the jump in, like leaving on a prayer right there, that jump in the last possible moments, he pressed the button. Goichi is not feeling himself pockets. We see a little bit of a shake for him. Let's see if he can maintain a gameplay that satisfies himself.
Yeah, Nemo finding a pretty pivotal hit at the end there, but possibly not looking at his own rev gauge there and spending a lot more than he had available for the damage string. Lost it all entirely.
Immediately going for the flash kick, saying, no, you are not going to pressure me. I need to get the turn.
He's been challenging that string repeatedly. That's not gap. There's not a big enough gap for that, I don't think.
Is not going to be what Goichi looked for. Oh, waking up with buttons, my friend. That's dangerous in this game.
And again, looking for the punish there, just not close enough for the close D and too slow for the far D.
Goichi is playing a little bit more than needed for that refined kind of punishment that he wants to bring. But when he finds it, he can cook like these pockets.
Oh man, 2 bars available too. Yeah, I like it. Spin both. Get him out of there. Take the game.
Optimal stuff, dropping the stars. That's what you want to see from Goichi, no other. And the crowd, of course, with the heavy analysis.
Yeah, look at these guys right now. They feel like there's like 1,000,000 tons on their shoulders.
Not a million of green. Of green.
It weighs quite a bit, man.
Indeed.
And one bad decision could take it all away.
You are completely right. As you are pushed against the corner, Goichi is trying to get out of there. Normally known for his defense, but here doing a fantastic job jumping up that grab. Sadly, not able to get a lot more out of it.
Yeah, you see right now, like Goichi's trying to make it really difficult for Nemo to find a solid hit to get anything started, and finds the counter hit Lanze, put him into the corner. Backdash, caught him on the ascent of the jump, so he couldn't JD that.
Very, very smart over there, Nemo, getting into the track bump.
Hey!
But in the far-reaching hit, he is able to get all of this depth over there. Then we go for the dash strike, and we are going to deliver a lot of damage. Nemo is playing sick right now.
Yeah, that was a high dodge attack. That was
almost like if you are a surgeon. Oh, but look at the pressure.
You got to be good decision making. You have to be on point with.
Over the he gives a little bit of space. Nemo is going to try to find, of course, because we are going to head Goichi in overheat. Now is the time to play. Now is the time to abuse. Now is the time to play legit.
Yeah, most certainly. And Nemo putting himself in overheat, looking for the guard break. Didn't find it. But still with the life lead available, he has to play this to his advantage. He cannot. That is huge for Nemo.
He found another delicious dish, and he's eating well right now. Still with momentum and overheat. Wow, all the way over there.
He lands the stab.
No.
What a madman.
Oh, and that's going to give him a chance. But with the chip damage, is going to be enough. Nemo plays Goichi in a checkmate situation. So smart, man. These guys are prodigies.
That is definitely one of those, like, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm going to show you that I'll do this at this distance because I know what you want, and I know there's a hurt box on the other side of it.
He kicked him all over the all over that way, all over a screen away.
Wake up flash kick from 3 character spaces away. Like, yeah, I know what you want, bro. Let's get it over with.
I love what we are watching from these 2 Japanese players. A little bit of pause too. Goichi knows that he is on the thin side of the stick, and he will have to be very careful with him. Look at these stats, man.
Sticking with the kind, possibly. A lot of people had anticipated that he was going to run to Marco here because he had found such great success with that at Combo Breaker.
Is he thinking about it?
No, he's not. He's like, no, I can't. He believes he can't win with Marco.
He liked the black suit, bro. Like he's dressed for success after all.
I got to say, though, like if he had gotten a knockdown with Marco, I don't see Nemo getting out of the scenario.
Oh, you're completely right, but let's see. Now he's going to get the hit going also for the stage control. All these carry. Challenge, I love it.
Yeah, no, there's no reason not to do the high dodge attack if you're going to seize your opponent, take to the skies like that. And Billy players just generally looking for that opportunity at all times.
You are completely right. Let's see.
Looking for the ambition, there,
no. He was a little bit ambitious indeed, and he's going to eat a lot of damage because of that.
I mean, you definitely have to do that because that's one of those moves that Kind can use to crank up your rev gauge, much like Billy can use on his almost entire repertoire.
Oh, he
what a bait.
That. It huele a miedo, apesta, he says. Reeks of fear. He knew that he was waking up with that super, and Goichi is able to retake a little bit of control in the moment that he needed Pocket, because now he's dealing with elimination.
Right, and you're seeing right now just very basic Kind play from Goichi right now. Nothing to get too, no fancy stuff, no razzle-dazzle needed.
Just play safe, just play sure. But of course, Nemo is going to try to push you to your limit.
Knocking by the SPG. Oh, the big hop! The big hop D gonna get decent damage off of this. Gonna push towards the corner. Rondo setup.
All the damage and
got behind him though. Yeah, you have to guard it on both sides.
And it's so hard to.
Oh, he went for the throw again!
The little hop. It's going to take us to game number 5. This is what we wanted. Over here on the backstage, we were saying that this could be the best game today, and so far. These 2 Titans have not disappointed.
Not at all, man. Like, I think right now, Goichi's showing that, Nemo, you can't throw me on my wake-up like that. I'm not going to sit still for very long because I don't want to block you in the first place.
Oh, he's going to eat this.
Oh, again, brother!
But he failed.
That was a tech attempt, though, 100%.
Yeah. I believe you, bro.
Yeah.
He failed that. He said, you are not talking this suit is sealed.
Got guard cancel, Lonze saying, hey, you press the button here, I'm ready for it.
And
get overheated.
He's trying to go for it. Get the damage. It's on now. Goichi on match point. What a legend.
Yeah, the steamroll is real right now. Goichi smelling blood in the water. And Nemo just not coming up with any answers here.
Oh, the flames just to control. You see that amazing big screen saying perfect, bro? That has to get you salty.
Yeah, well, there's just not much that Billy can do in that pressure in the corner against the Kind. It's all about the correct call-out, but that's what it is, a call-out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And now is Nemo, who is able to perform, who is able to deliver all this damage. When it's going to come, there it is.
That's gotta be frustrating.
Oh, you have everything.
That's gotta be frustrating. You know, you felt like you had the pressure there. You just needed to touch him one more time, and now your wake up is supering and eating a ton of damage with almost 2 bars available, eating a Rondo setup. Are you gonna block correctly? You're trying to dash out of there. You're trying to jump. Got the little bead, no follow-ups there. And Kind still 1 touch away from death, but somehow holding all the pressure in the building.
Oh, now he
swung at that.
He went for the challenge. Why? Goichi, he's gonna take that match. Why did he press the bottom pocket?
Oh man, I mean, you can't block forever. The game don't let you block forever. I get it, but wow.
He really had dreams of freedom, but Goichi saying, no, you're gonna feel the pain. You're going to go into the under bracket. Amazing match over here, going all the way to game number 5.
And the Billy players are the ones usually used to making the opponent swing in the middle of a damage string or a block string, and that'll go into a high damage string, but Kind no stranger to that either. And once again, Goichi showing that, hey man, I think this is my character. We had a nice, interlude with Marco, but look at my pressure. How are you going to deny this?
And in the end, he will have that secret weapon on the pocket, right? The Marco was able to win a major after all.
Yeah.
So Goichi is looking very, very dangerous, not only with this game, but we know that he has that tool on his sleeve. of course, Nemo, he's going to be so dangerous on the side, on the under bracket, my dear Pocket.
Oh yeah, no, everybody going down to the lower brackets are most certainly going to be dangerous because they are getting extra time to warm up, get their hands ready, and I'm pretty sure they already know who they're going to be playing tomorrow. But the winner's side are probably the guys with the most pressure because they still got matches to play later on today. But I think Goichi's ready for all comers.
Those moments that Goichi found to jump those grab attempts, like those little hops.
He knew what he wanted every time. He was like, hey,
so important.
What's your mix, Billy? Oh, strike throw? All right.
Okay. Road, hardest of reads, and some people would say able to get the victory. Goichi is going to move forward. And now, Pocket, the future is coming fast for us because no other than Falcon's Kendu will be facing Navi's Dark Angel, el representante de la raza.
All right, so this is your boy.
Yeah.
But not only is it your boy, it is potentially the only Terry main in the building currently.
It's time for the main character to rise up.
Yeah, Dark Angel qualifying for SWC and EWC with Terry Bogard, the strongest Terry Bogard in the world currently.
First time he was in Europe in his life, he took a title.
What a footprint to leave behind.
Yeah, man. Like Dark Angel, now with the support of Navi, has been able to travel a little bit more and showing that he is indeed a world-class competitor. But of course, Kendu from Falcon Zone, and with the support of these people, he's going to be a really tough cookie to crack.
I would say Kendu has the support of the Falcons fan base, but as well a good portion of the FGC that is aware of this man's exploits for many, many years.
Oh yeah. He has been another player that we know as legend in many other titles.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure that experience will carry forward. Look at all of those flags, man. Where are you keeping them? How do you get that into the venue, dude?
They hand it to you at the door. Like, hey, man, you a Falcons fan? Grab it, bro. Let's go.
you say yes, you even get a jersey, right?
That's what you do at sports games, man. Like, you just meet people with a like-minded, interests. You say, hey, man, do you have, the red paint? I'm trying to do, a letter, for my homies, trying to do, spell it out, the team logo or something, right? That's crazy. I love that.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, take that to your home and use it to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are seeing them together, the only Mexican in this bracket. Many attempts were made. Even the Geo went to Mexico and took another spot for us.
Hey, man, you got to get it where you can get it.
Dark Angel did it to Leven, but the Geo did it to us, man. What the hell?
That's the nature of the game. You go where the qualifier spots are. You go where the money is.
Now we will be ready. The legendary Wolf fighting the elegant billionaire.
And Kendu having a tremendous history of good performance as well as strong results. And this game, getting him, I won't say he was in hibernation. He was playing other fighting games competitively, but not as hard.
Exactly. It felt like he lacked that edge for hard competition.
He was definitely having, it's weird to say this, but he was definitely having a good time, basically, right?
Yeah.
But right now, he's working.
I feel you, yeah, and he's here in the capital of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
No other. Kendu has flight far away, of course, Dark Angel too. And we will see Dark Angel, who has become also a titan in KOF, now fully dedicated to Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Yes.
I am starting to feel nervous, Pockets. Hold me close.
Here we go, man. Terry Bogard versus Kine. Let's see it, man. Kendu versus Dark Angel. Who's gonna get it, people?
Immediately, Kendu went for, but look at that.
Oh, baby.
People were saying that there is a game plan in the mind of Dark Angel, and he is not falling against that prediction.
You gotta understand also, man, not a lot of people play against Dark Angel in any scenario, especially a Terry Bogard like this. There's definitely a couple things that can fall by the wayside here if you're not used to seeing it. Whoa, that was way too early for the throw.
Another one of those. This is the second time we see it today. Not both of them for Dark Angel. Now against the corner, there with this fantastic over there by Kendu. trying to get something, and another button of panic over there, and the Falcon fans go nuts.
A little bit of patience goes a long way for Kendu there. Also want to point out, I think this is the first player, that Dark Angel rather, first player putting SPG in the center of the bar, meaning he wants a much more balanced experience with his SPG.
What a reaction over there, but Dark Angel is going to finish that with a power gas and ignition gear. Then the prediction comes from the Mexican player, and he is going for it. Look at the damage that we can do with humbled resources.
Oh man, just all those empty feints into throw.
Oh,
nothing behind it there, unfortunately. But he can chip him out here. One more touch, and there it is. The reversal, or rather, just the raw DP.
I like that Dark Angel so far looks very cold, stoic. That's what you need in a scenario like this. Immediately defend over there. It's the optimal thing to do. Yet again, both another two. And the approaches for Dark Angel, getting a little bit nervous that those jumps can't be opportunities for Kendu, but so far the Mexican player has landed well until this moment.
Yeah, no, they were definitely swinging pretty cautiously there, because I think they got a little wild in the previous 2 rounds, and they just could not afford to make any mistakes and just lose a ton of life again, because they're both doing chunks to each other. Yo, the back dash wild
That's gonna be enough for sure. Yes, Kendu is gonna get that game number 1, and the Falcon fans are feeling it. They are really supporting the man who has his colors, their colors on his hair.
Yeah, man, you look at Kendu, man, he's like, man, that was like cardio right there. I'm doing a full body workout.
And me too.
Playing against, well, that's what it's like playing against Dark Angel, man.
Yeah.
Playing against guys like Dark Angel is a full body workout, because your muscles are tensing and your brain is working overdrive.
Dark Angel falling a little bit for fear. Sadly, he's gonna lose that round as the pressure of Kendu seems to be cracking the patience of the Mexican champion.
To say nothing of the pressure of the $35,000 that's technically on the balance, hanging in the balance currently.
Look at that. The perfect punish over there by Kendu. Don't touch me now.
All right, Dark Angel kind of on a back foot here. I'm not saying Kendu has figured him out, but he's not allowing him to run the game plan any longer.
Indeed. He tried to go right. The jump in for Kendu is gonna get punished. No SPG for Kendu. Dark Angel going for the trick.
Yeah, he's like, nah, no more.
Yeah. I can't wake up options, bro. No, not fast enough, sadly, but no punish either. Oh, the ambition is gonna hurt.
Yeah, beat the rev blow with the super there. Now he has a corner, and Dark Angel has to respect all of this. And respect he does, and gets his punish.
Oh, that was so dangerous. Kendu really let it rip.
I think Kendu thought, this guy's a nut, let's crack him.
He's gonna press a button, but no. Dark Angel showed that he is ready to survive even those baits. Let's go. An approach after that revolution. Power wave, but Kendu is not allowing Dark Angel to feel comfortable. Every move from the Mexican player has a response from Kendu.
Yeah, no, this game will definitely show you how to play the player real quickly, because you can try to play Fatal Fury City of the Wolves by the numbers, but at the end of the day, it's about what your opponent's showing you and how you can take advantage of it. And right now, I think Kendu's realizing, hey, this guy's defense ain't the strongest, and if I play a little crazy as well, maybe he gets a little gun shy.
Yeah, and the setups from Kane are hurting right now, Dark Angel. Of course, that roar from the crowd is pushing Kendu forward. Dark Angel has to do something, pockets. If not, he's going down into the lower bracket.
Yeah, and you see, like right now, Dark Angel just not willing to play as wild as he has had previously, because Kendu showed him, like, yeah, we can both do that, but I'm a little tighter. I'm just a little bit tighter.
No, perfecto. No. Dark Angel in his last leg right now. Last hope at this moment. Let's see if he can do something, try to go forward.
Yeah, Dark Angel's got anything he's been working on in the previous few months. He needs to whip it out right now and just blast it.
No, but that is not gonna be it. That was dangerous as hell. He's not finding anything. He jumps out of the kick. Oh, but the SPG is perfect over there by Kendu, who has Dark Angel his last leg.
He's struggling.
Yet again, the pressure is on. He's gonna hit it. It is over. No, a little bit of mistake. Last hope. No. You are getting out of here.
Absolutely.
Kendu, the only Falcon who is gonna fly high, and he's going to give these people a joy as Dark Angel will fall into the loser's bracket. We will have to survive tomorrow, Pockets.
Yeah, right. Falcons players, Falcons fans, got to be feeling great right now. Falcons finally on the board here. The CODW tournament here at EWC 2025. Dark Angel going down to the lower bracket where he will be fighting for his life tomorrow.
Ouch, I would say. But instead of that, I would say what a match from Kendu. Another one who showed a lot of momentum and very strong gameplay to dominate the Mexican player right here. This is looking rough right now, Pockets.
I want to say, honestly, what carried Kendu through this was a little bit of old school grit, you know? He definitely played this game smart, but also he was like, I've played people like you in the past. I'm not afraid of the wild ones.
I know you are going to pull that trigger, and he was always ready for that. Look, those were big mistakes by Dark Angel, and in these kind of scenarios, Pocket, you cannot simply keep betting like that.
Yeah, no, certainly one of those scenarios where if you keep flowcharting it, an opponent that is used to like adjusting on the fly like that will definitely, I won't say embarrass you, but he will definitely make you second guess your whole game plan. And you saw later on in this match how Dark Angel was like, hey man, I don't think it's gonna work no more. Maybe we should try blocking. Oh no, blocking sucks against this guy. I don't know what else to do. Might as well try swinging into the booger ball, eat this fat damage in the corner. I got nothing left.
Yeah, it was harsh to expect, but I am listening that we have the chance of an interview. That means we will be soon going with our hosts over there at the stage to talk with these challenges. We are going to the scenario right now.
Yes, we are indeed, gentlemen. What a matchup that we just had here. And of course, Kendu victorious on the stage. I'm here in Milosh having a little chat, of course, our wonderful translator here, just to ask the question. First of all, what does it feel like for you here as a Team Falcons member and representative with the local crowd cheering for you? Does it impact you as a player when you're competing?
素晴らしい試合でしたね。おめでとうございます。ティームファルコンの一員としてこの土地でプレーをし、この素晴らしい現地のファンから声援を受けるのはどのようなお気持ちですか？そしてその応援はご自身に影響をというか与えていますか？
まあこういう体験はちょっと僕も初めてなんですけど、ちょっとまあすごいホームで応援してもらって、ちょっとでも前の2人ちょっと負けちゃってたんで、自分のプレッシャーも結構すごかったんですけど、まあ勝ててよかったです。応援はすごく嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。
It's his first time to compete in this kind of tournament. And I was really nervous because I was not able to perform as I would have loved to earlier. But I am so grateful for all the supports and cheers. I'm so happy that I was able to win.
It was a great game, especially for you here, Kendu. Great performance. Now I want to talk about that for just a second. Terry is not that much of a popular pick currently in the meta. How did you prepare to face off against it in the game?
素晴らしい応援ですよね。今のメタではテリーっていうのはあまり使われないキャラだと思うんですけれども、何か対策はしていらっしゃったんですか？
やっぱり少ないんですけど、日本に使ってるプレイヤーは一応いて、その人に対策で対戦してもらったので、それが生きたと思います。
Well, you can say so, but there are certain numbers of people who use Terry as a character, and I was able to get some hints and advice from those people.
They were preparing a lot in the back end. Kendu, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us. Arigatou gozaimasu. Congratulations on the win. We have more games in store for you. Send it back to our commentators.
And what a way to send it all the way back. As we have coming up next, it's Punko versus Mook. But of course, we got to get you a little introduction. My name is Vicious, bringing it back with Justin Wong to give us a little bit more of a tour of the City of the Wolves.
Man, it's been an amazing day. Amazing matches, obviously. We've seen so many people going down to the lower bracket and also waiting for a chance to qualify for that Saturday finals. But like you mentioned, we're going to get Punko versus Mog. And I think the coolest thing about this, we are going to see the Gato. Punko's Gato versus another Falcons' own Mog. Let's see, you know, Kendu set the standard for the winning streak, right? Maybe possibly a winning streak or a 2-winning streak for Falcons. Let's see if Mach can do it, or will Punko Gato take this?
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest question. As you had seen thus far, you had seen majority of the meta picks that have been kind of touring around the city a good amount of time these last couple of weeks that led into EWC. However, Gato not too far from the tree in regards to the top 5. Right? I feel like he's been like the gatekeeper into the way of success, but at the moment, we only have 2 Gatos in the entirety of our pools, in our group stages, right? 2 of them are in this exact group, right? Not only just Punko, but with RB as well.
Yes, and you mentioned how like Gato is one of those characters that's like right outside the tree, right outside the top 5. I mean, he's a character that does a lot of damage. He also has a lot of like buttons, a lot of specials to kind of like take advantage and just keep the momentum going. Right. So the one thing that Punko is going to be really good at, he's never scared. So I feel like when he wants to challenge with just like a DP to take his turn back or even a high dodge attack, we're going to see that. And the one thing that Punko loves doing a lot is the forward B. Just kind of like the advancing normal, because if he lands that advancing normal in a counter hit state, he's going to get a full combo from there. So he's Gato's probably one of the only characters that can combo from that range in particular.
And that leads to a lot too. Just getting something like that, if it's far enough plus a counter hit, you could get like a 2C if need be to get your party really started. But let's talk about the dynamic real quick, right? Gato being an up-close kind of fighter, he does have those kind of things to do. He can get frame traps, he can get knockdowns going repeatedly. He does have good states of Oki repeatedly. However, Hokutomaru has been a very difficult character to catch. So let's lay out the problem here. How does Gato actually close out the distance against someone like Hokutomaru?
I mean, you were right there. Like the money part, in terms of the ground game, Hokutomaru is not playing the ground game. He's playing the air game. He's going to be in the air using the double jumps, using the air feints, right? Where Gato doesn't really have a lot of air mobility. He's going to try to maybe go for like a jump C to kind of like get him pinned down to the ground, or even use like a high dodge attack. But usually if you want to anti a character like Hokutomaru, you have to wait for the double jump to be used, so it's much easier to set that tone. But the thing is, Punko is going to probably use a lot more of the back turn stance, especially in Rev, because he wants to maybe go for the command throw. Maybe he wants to go for like the strike version, right? Because it's a guess in that situation. Okay, look at that already. Using that, like that's the low dodge attack. That is a great frame attack.
That is the ankle breaker, right?
Yes.
That is going to be something to check going forward to see if the opponent's going to be crouching. But of course, Gato does have access to an overhead that does link into a 2A.
Yep.
So you can set up the mind games right now as Punko. And as you had mentioned, we do get a guard cancel into the uppercut. Pretty important to stop the barrage from Mach.
Yeah, and then the most important part, he used the B version to get like the invo frames. Because if he did use the D version, he would have got hit out by that target combo. But look at this, just like that, Punko gets the knockdown. Is he going to roll? Catches it, but he's able to block in time though.
Yeah, that was a high dodge attack coming in from Punko. He tried to steal his turn back, hence the counter hit from the side of Mach. But man,
my God!
Counter hit! Stay!
Yeah, we're going to spend that super right here. Yeah, spend that super, close out the round. Punko game, just the round number 1.
Beautiful stuff. Being able to actually just willing to spend that part early is super, super important on the Ignition super.
Okay, tries to use that forward B right there. Nice. Get the hard knockdown into the corner carry. A nice guard cancel right there, but that's so expensive. Anytime you do JD guard cancel Riplo, that's 35% spent on Mach's side.
Oh, that was so tricky. Did you see that jump in? Just a bare feint coming in from Mach to be able to get the rest of that opener against Punko, but now the barrage is coming. The JD is there, and there's the guard cancel that we were looking for. The second time over that Punko has able to get himself out of danger.
Goes for the back throw, and that's going to be another situation. Nice backdash into the 2C, gets a finish, no meter spent, and Mach's going to come in with both meter and possibly maybe use a hitting gear, right? Cash out, get a big damage. Punko also has all that too, and Gato is one of those characters that you want to spend all your resources to do like 70% damage.
Right, the damage is going to be pretty clear cut, and he also looks cool while doing it. But Mach actually in an excellent position to probably let it rip, but here comes
I mean, you talking about let it rip. We talked about it. Punko's all about it. And there it is. Beautiful. The forward B, wild punish. We're not going to be able to get the hitting gear, but we're going to spend some bar, level 1, get the hard knockdown. What's the guess? Command throw, overhead, and it's the low.
Did you see the feint? You thought an overhead was possibly coming just based off of the animation alone. And on the other side, too, Punko still checking and chasing the tech roll.
Spending the level 1. That was Mach's only time. He can't take chip damage, and he drops the combo. Got the counter hit, missed the 2C into the Kuha, and there it is. Punko game number 1.
I like that. I like that. Nerves of steel coming in from Punko. He had the game plan ready. He's willing to execute it. He's doing very well on both offense and defense. But He tried to go for the stance. He tried to get the grab. It was Mok who was airborne, getting himself the big opener. Now empty jump low yet again. Punko, there was a counter hit on the side, so he was pressing buttons upon wake up.
Ooh, there it is. Yes, letting it rip. Waiting for the feint. Waiting for the situation where you're able to anti-air the character. And there's it. There he used the back turn stance to try to maybe catch him from jumping. And then listen, you know, -2 is just a number. Sometimes it's okay.
You know, negativity is a state of mind.
Yes.
You gotta stay plus.
But the thing about Mok, what he's really good at, anytime he's getting these hard knockdowns, he has setups like safe jumps, meaty setups, right? Things where you're like, I dare you to press a button afterwards because it's still gonna be my turn. Yep,
Yeah, that's also excellent coverage too. Just using the rev blow, right? Just in case Punko did want to advance and actually try to land a hit, right? You do have armor behind it.
You do have armor, and it's another thing is anytime Punko's in the air, especially against a character like Kokudamaru, the rev blow is a perfect anti because you cannot JD rev blows in general.
That's correct. Your defensive options pretty much out the window, but now Mok.
Safe
Getting
jump.
the safe jump, and also a big, heavy punish on the way down. He's at 94. Yeah, he's going to have to spend that ignition super regardless in order to get the round, get the game again.
Yeah, that's going to be 1-1. And yeah, like you mentioned, like you were kind of a little bit maybe worried about like he might overheat himself in that situation. But in general, that's why you always spend the super, right? Because you're going to lower that number every single time. And nice rev blow counter.
That was actually kind of sick.
Yes.
Hold on for the corner carry as well, finishing it up with the JD, the double JD.
Yeah, look at that. Safe jump again into the hard knockdown. That's +2 in that situation every single time. Punko getting thrown loop here. Maybe.
I definitely meant to say rev blow. I don't know where JD came from. I'm not going to lie to you, Justin.
Yeah, that's all good. Spend that level 1. Take him out of SPG. That's always the #1 thing you want to do in this game. Okay,
But for the triple dash, not like a jump setup forward, like the forward B, perhaps?
Yeah, no.
The forward B. Oh, wild punish coming in. No, he was too far.
Yeah, he was
had
crouching.
time to dash too.
Yeah, it was that. He was also crouching when he got the confirm with the stand C.
Oh.
He thought maybe he was standing, he would have got the juggle and able to kill him in that situation. But when you're crouching, you're not going to be able to get that launcher there.
Yeah, but there's another way to kind of get the continuation right. If it's a wild punish, you have 20+ frames to dash up.
Yes, 100%. Oh, misses the throw attempt. Try to trick him out because every time it was a safe jump, and you're able to combo that overhead like you mentioned.
Neck crack, see a chiropractor, and see you later.
Okay, yep, go for the plus frames in that stand C feint. Nice. Air down. Try to hold up. Not going to build. Is he going to be able to build a bar here? Yes, he does.
Is. But it's not quite dead.
Level
Punko,
1.
let's get an uppercut.
He jumps out. Nice forward
That
B.
was sick.
Oh, again, he held up. Mok was able to realize, because that's the one thing. Even though you have a command throws are like super strong in this game. But it's also one of those things where you're like, I can smell when you want that command throw, especially Rev command throw, a character that every time you have Rev command throw, you can combo afterwards, right? That's the only way you could have lost in that situation.
Yo, but he be smelling it the entire game. So
yes,
like,
he has.
He has been holding north the entire time and calling it right against Punko. So it's going to be like another question we're going to ask. When is Punko going to be able to land that command grab? And will he even need to?
See, that's the struggle, because earlier when he tried to fake the command throw and go for the C version, the strike version, Mok did not jump. He blocked it. So it's like he's guessing right every single time. And that's the most important part about fighting games sometimes. Able to guess right against a character, against a player like Punko too. Ooh, nice. Punko didn't bite from the shimmy in that situation, but Mok able to get the frame trap still. No super, so it's going to be a hard knockdown.
You can see how much of a nuisance Kokudamaru is, not only on the ground, but more importantly, in the air. I feel like Punko has not been able to catch him correctly with not only anti-air normals or even trying to do an uppercut. Right?
Yeah, just like that, Punko trying to dash in, but Mox with the 2C gets the hard knockdown into the second rev blow. Okay, gotta be careful. Don't get hit by the stand D, but gets hit by the rev blow again. Mok, next combo will win.
And it's coming in for the low ignition all the way to the finish line. Just like that, 2 low Bs into the super. Moving on to the winner's side.
And look at that right there. Team Falcons own the flags, the crowd. They're all cheering because even though you have 2 players in the lower bracket, 2 players are also 1 match away to go into that top 8 for Saturday.
Beautiful showing thus far, at least within this group. And you know, I do feel for Punko a little bit. You know how if you have been like historically watching the FGC, you know how aggressive he can be.
Yes.
Just seeing him not eligible to play that offensive strategy that he's so known for is kind of a heartbreaker, right?
It is a heartbreaker, but that's also like a testament to Mach's skill of just like keeping it like just tight with the safe jumps, with the pressure, right? Because every time Punko did try to DP, the safe jump just nullified it.
That's correct.
Right? Because I feel like if in order for you to beat safe jumps in Fatal Fury, you have to go JD 0 frame super. Because in that situation, safe jumps will just lose, but it costs a resource. The scaling on the super is not the best, but in return, you get the hard knocked out and you put that into their brain that they can't rely on safe jumps anymore.
And there's some really interesting ideas that Punko elaborated on as you see the replay. He was chasing down Hokutomaru a decent amount of times with some of the specials that he has to cause some of the big air float moments, air juggle moments, even with forward B, right? I think that's a really, really innovative way to kind of stop Hokutomaru from throwing those instant air shurikens. But for the most part, when he did get started, as you see him tuck chase the roll, it's so interesting to see like how much of that offense really started to shred into the defense of Mach.
Yes. Now, I mean, you're right about that, but then Mach also guessed right on so many of his wake-up supers, right? Every time he did wake-up ignition, that Mach just guessed right, and there it is what we saw earlier, the wake-up safe jump, right, against his wake-up DP, just, he lost out in that situation, and like you mentioned, he guessed right every time Punko did try to go for like a rev command stance command throw, right?
Yeah, and you saw that instance too coming in from Punko. Just a slight mishap off of that far C, getting the wild punish and a big opportunity to actually finish out Mok. That one chance, I feel like, could have changed the tide of the entire setup.
Yeah, it could have been, right? But the thing is, Stubby Normals is Gato things. He needs to be close range while Hokutomaru is going to try to play the mid-range the whole entire time, right? Like his crouch B, his stand B in general, they go really, really far. But you talked about Gato versus Hokutomaru. We have another Gato versus Hokutomaru right here.
You don't say. Coming in from RB and the Geo. I'm very excited about this because you have two different generations of players, right? We've heard of RB if you're coming in from like the FGC for a very long time. He's been around the block playing a plethora of different games.
Yes.
However, he hasn't been in the spotlight as often. This game, however, has really brought him out to play.
Well, the crazy part is obviously when you're learning a new fighting game, you're playing online, you're like, man, you know, I want to compete in this game. RB qualified at Colin Breaker. He only had one shot to qualify for EWC, and he had to, you know, ask the Taiwanese community, just be like, hey man, can I go to Colin Breaker with your support? I really think I can do this. And he got the spot, right? Geo also, he qualified at the pretty much the last second, right? City of the Cream, right?
First place.
Yeah, first place. And he was coming from the lower bracket as well, too. So he had to go through a marathon of players to get this spot here.
If there's any character that could help you run that marathon, it's definitely Hokutomaru.
Yes, right? Hokutomaru's. He's just really good because eventually when you get more games and you keep playing more games, you're just like, man, my runaway is just getting better and better, and my clips of just 2B in general are just getting sharper as well, right? Because you can see people getting frustrated against the character because when you think about just fighting in 101, if somebody jumps, you anti-air.
Correct.
But against a character like Hokutomaru, who kind of like defies gravity, you cannot anti-air right away.
Him being able to manipulate his jump arc and also direction is such a pain for a lot of traditional fighting game characters.
Yes.
That's not to say that there are a lot of those in like City of the Wolves, right? Because they all have their own unique approach in regards to air, like air normals, air attacks, right? But it's hard to predict when the opponent decides to do it, right? They could easily just go in for a normal jump and you'd be like, oh, I second-guessed myself.
Right?
I thought there was going to be a change of direction.
Yeah, yeah. Like when I play, when I fight against Hokutomarus in general, every time I just see a jump, my brain is just wired to try to anti-air him, and I lose every single time.
Me too.
So it's one of those things where it's like, you need to just like let him rock, or you need to chase him in the air yourself, right? They did change in the most recent patch where like if he does double jump and you hit him during the double jump state, he's in counter hit state. But the thing is, not many characters can capitalize off of it. Like obviously Hotaru can, or characters with like air specials can, but in general, you just do a little more damage, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the rev blow is a big factor, probably arguably the best rev blow in the game, right? In terms of like anti-air, in terms of just like when to use it, and it's really hard to punish because the pushback of Hokutomaru's rev blow sends the other characters back a little bit too far, so some characters can't even punish with their 5-framer. But
yeah, it leaves them at -5. That was the big change, right? But not a lot of people were able to kind of fully justify whether or not it was a nerf or a buff, right? There were so many different streams where they were thinking about it that way. However, as it stands right now, I think there's going to be plenty of moments where, oh wait, hold on.
I know this is going to be
We might
crazy.
actually get info coming in from our side of the screen. Whether or not it's going to be an actual Gato Hook tomorrow run back, because we just saw it earlier, or will RB switch over to Kind? Now, this is going to be very interesting too, because Kind can actually have a little bit more control in the air in comparison to Gato because of his air fireball. Or not air fireball, but like upward fireball.
Upwards fireball. But it's also another thing. It's because we saw earlier that how Gato does have like stubby normals. Right? Kind is just so good at relentless pressure. If you have to say what is Hokuto Maru's weakness, he doesn't have a reversal. He has to rely on ignition gear, right? He has to rely on kind of like that super in general. But the thing is, if you can bait it, it's so easy to hyper defense and get all your life back and also gain meter at the same time, right?
We have confirmed it. This is going to be the change. RB pulling out the Kind against the Geo's Hokuto Maru.
And like you saw, the first fireball RB threw was an upwards fireball, right? He's trying to catch that double jump because maybe it's going to put him in that juggle state. And the back dash right there, hard knockdown. And again, this is the second player that we have seen that puts their SPG into the middle. Right, for Geo.
Flux, right?
Yeah, the flux, right? So that in that situation, anytime he does spend rev meter or rev blow, it's going to cost a little bit less. So that's the really good part. And if you see how much damage this game has been doing, right? But every time somebody does get hit right away, they're out of SPG. So at least within the middle, you're able to keep your SPG second, and you need to get hit by 2 combos to lose SPG.
That's fair. It is a valid kind of strategy if you could maybe have a decent read on your opponent. If you don't feel confident enough to have that kind of burst damage, especially against a character like Kind, where you know a single hit blows you up, then that's a fair choice going to Flux.
Yeah, the only negative side is that you don't have rev blow, right? And rev blow is kind of one of those moves that's like, it's just really hard to counter. You can obviously high dodge attack it, but you have to be ready for it at just a single time notice.
Damn, you confirm into the big orb. Elbow time, set up another one.
Yep. Get the knockdown, gets the pressure, stand C feint, plus frames in that situation, spends a super to take him out of SPG. Another Rondo, has the guess, and the empty jump low, RB clean with it.
Damn, the Rondo is just so difficult to defend against, especially if you don't have a get off me special.
Yes.
It's exactly as you had prefaced it before. If Hokuto Maru doesn't have a chance to either JB it, guard cancel, or do something to kind of check the timing or check the approach from Kind, he might be dead in the water.
No, it's actually really, really tough because during like the 3 months of leading up to EWC, a lot of Kind players in the beginning did not like to fight against Hokuto Maru because obviously the rondos and the projectiles, the zoning gets nullified with against Hokuto Maru's just rev teleport, right? But then they realized, let me be aggressive with it.
Oh my god, you are not kidding about that aggression. How many different scenarios did RB put the Geo in to guess between the strike and the throw? It was like
at least 6 plus right there. But you have to think also, no reversal, so the Geo has to rely on using ignition gear. But guess what? Again, the throws are killing him. RB's backdash against those scenarios are just been literally 10 for 10 at the moment. And the bait on that, I think he's dead.
I think he's hella dead. He's got SPG intact. He's got 2 bars. He didn't even need it. Are you kidding me?
He wasn't even finished. You still had Rev Flash Kick after that, too. There was a lot going, and just like that, RB up 2 games to 0 against the Geo.
He is efficient, and he is effective, and he is a monster.
He is a monster. And look, if you see how the neutral works, every time the Geo jumps, RB dashes under him and just runs away. He's like, you know what? I don't want to be in a situation where I have to deal with your cross-ups, and it's kind of like the dead spot where the anti-airs would not work.
Yeah, and then from further ranges, RB actually attempted to go for a jump B against the Geo, but Geo actually read that as going to jump backwards. However, the big opener now for Kind is going to be so destructive against the Geo.
Oh
What's the
my
defensive
God.
play? Not going to be there. You get smacked up with the C. We get the elbow, set up the Rondo. What's the mix? It's a throw. Do it again.
Nice, there it is. And the trap right there. Good challenge. He's not gonna spend the bar yet. He wants to get the knockdown, but this might spend the level 1 here. Surprised he went for that super instead of the ball to kind of get a little more juggle, but in this situation, it's a guess for game right here.
Yeah, that's fair. I think a little bit more meter to you as well.
Yeah.
As you're connecting some of those hits, but being at a single C away, I think RB can manage.
Nice. Oh, but doesn't get the punish. I thought he had the punish. Okay. RB can take a throw here. Can he afford this? And he doesn't. The last hit of the Kuha. The Geo has some life still.
I like that. I like that a lot, too. Very reminiscent of the last couple of players that we had seen, right? We had the safe jump setup into the low. RB actually getting exposed to it. You actually saw RevGuard, a flash of it, coming in from RB.
Yeah, I think the one thing that Geo has kind of recognized in this situation is using the standing A. The standing A there has been cooking so much because he realized that RB is just trying to hold up from pressure. So the stand A is keeping him grounded because also, if you do stand A compared to crouch B, right? If he backdash is invul to crouching. Standing normals, mid normals, you cannot backdash that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, look how far that was.
The 2B?
Yeah, the 2B is insane there.
He's blessed.
He is blessed. He's grown up to be a fine teenager boy.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, nice. Again, the 2C doesn't have super. No, there wasn't even a wild punish in the situation. Again, the jump B is so good. Okay, SPG there.
It's a battle of the 2Cs, exactly that. The Geo tried to respond with his own 2C, which is a pretty big trademark tool for Hope Tomorrow, but you're going up against Kind, baby.
You are. RB with the whiff punish. No bite on the throw. Goes for the overhead. That's plus frames in that situation. Spencer Rondo here. Can't afford a throw here, though. Oh, my God. One more.
From the stand C.
And he just jumps out of it. But RB catching with the jump B in general. Right? Now he's at match points. Geo has to make something happen to tie it up to 2-2.
He does have a single bar. He can make something work, at least upon offense, to get RB out of SPG. That's going to be the main goal, at least for now.
I'm surprised he didn't confirm that wild punish from the jump-in right there. You could definitely got a 2C from a wild punish. The frame data is totally in your favor anytime you get a wild punish. Yep. Spends the kunai. That's a hard string to stop, but you can actually interrupt with super here in that scenario because because the projectile is not really a projectile. It's a strike. So you can just hit it with the super and you actually went through it.
I have seen that, you're right, yeah.
Okay, goes for the stand C, the neutral C. Doesn't bite the teleport, backdashes again, but doesn't get the crouch C punish there.
A little bit rough now, the barrage of close C's coming in from RB, but now the big wild punish swing coming in from the Geo. Rev blow, you got it, still within SPG. Not gonna spend it, and you were surprised.
Yeah, because his rev's kind of high a little bit, right? Even though he's like at 60, it's still doable. But the thing is, RB's in a scenario where he's like, if I hit you once right now, I'm spending double bar, and oh no! That might have been the input buffer. Kind of taking advantage. The Geo got kind of lucky in that scenario there.
Extremely lucky. We almost have 10 seconds on the clock, just about to counter. It is there from RB. One more string, one more touch into a sequence will be it. Now's the punish. RB doesn't get it.
He tried the hyper defense. And look at this, 4, has to spend a super. Just block, take the throw, doesn't even need the flash kick. The last hit ended. That was the longest match that we had so far in day 1 for EWC.
Can I be honest with you? That was probably the longest round I've experienced this month.
Yes.
In Fatal Fury?
Maybe, it might be.
If we're going to be honest about it, that was a pretty long round.
Yeah, RB was willing to just crouch and just take the throw in that scenario, right? For like 5 seconds left on the clock, you are up at least 30% of life. The only way you wouldn't lose if you got hit and had to take a red line gear super there.
Yeah, truly. It's one of those moments where if you spend the bar now, sure, you secure the round, or if you spend that hidden gear, you save the bar. Save the round, but you'll be at such a deficit going into the next one. And I feel like a lot of players' mentality right now, it's just like, I kind of want to be greedy with it. At least within this game, it's like, I want to save this bar.
No, you should always spend the bar.
Oh, I agree with you.
Right, always spend the bar because meter in general is so easy to build in this game. The only time you just don't build bar at all is if you use a rev art. Right? Anytime you use a rev art, it doesn't build bar, but anytime you use a special, regular, normal, throw, get hit, you are building just bar in general.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. I think the Geo had a lot of good ideas here too. When you think about the amount of mixes he got upon offense, you can see he was pretty much showing the susceptibility of RB from the safe jumps, it's the empty jump lows, etc. But I think overall, you talked about that one highlighted weakness that Hope Tomorrow has, and it's not having an invincible reversal or having an invincible uppercut or anything like that, right? To get him out of harm's way. I think that was mainly highlighted from the way that RB was playing offense.
Yeah, I mean, in the scenarios also, I'm actually surprised that Geo didn't let it rip a lot more often. It's kind of one of those things where maybe I can react to the dash. and try to check with my 4-frame button. But every time he did, he actually lost in this scenario. But look at this match. Talk to me about this banger of a match right here.
We will in just a bit. Again, coming up next, Xiao Hai versus New York Chris G. That's going to be coming up next. You don't want to miss it when we have it coming back here at Esports World Cup for Fatal Fury.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Welcome back to the Esports World Cup. It's Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, and we have just concluded Groups C and D. The first round of matches now all locked in. And what a fantastic opening round of fixtures it was. Don't forget, of course, that tonight the EWC opening ceremony is happening. That's right, tonight on July the 10th. And we're featuring performances by the likes of Dino of 17, Duckworth, The Word Alive, and many other special guests. You can catch that live wherever you are in the world on twitch.tv/EWC. The pre-show starts at 9 p.m. with the main ceremony kicking off at 10. And we are here in the studio to recap some of that action. I've got some of these incredible minds along. So you guys were very sad to see Dark Angel go down 3-0, but what happened in this matchup?
Mi corazón. I love Dark Angel. Listen, I'm always going to be proud for him, but Kendu was just on one today. After that initial first game, Kendu really started to get a feel for what Dark Angel wanted to go for, right? A lot of wake-up rev blows. Obviously, the flash kicks were trying to neutralize some of the DPs as well, and it just worked out for him. Kendu really took advantage.
Yeah, by my estimation, I think it was like Kendu teched one time, and he got almost killed for it. That was in the first game. After that, he stopped teching almost completely, neutralizing that avenue of damage. He also...
I know, Aru, you were really excited about this one. Did it live up to expectation?
It did, but I'm a little bit sad to see Punko, of course, already losing a game. He still has another chance, but Mok, of course, was the better player in that situation. It really did seem like the two of them had a wealth of experience against each other. You already saw that they were, mind gaming each other on like different layers than you normally see between players that are just kind of like testing the waters against each other.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Falcons now as well, turning things around, getting 2 wins back-to-back in Group C and D, and Mo getting the job done. Looking at that RB and the Geo match, though.
That was another brutal one there. I mean, Geo really just couldn't get comfortable at all. No Johns, right? No OSs for the players, but, it's hard to acclimate to the time zone, to the schedule, and, of course, to perform. Players like Geo don't travel as much, right? So to be able to do this in this audience, especially against Falcons, right? Yeah. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, but on the screen, we actually still have Punko versus Mok stuff going on. And I wanted to point out also, in this set, it felt like Punko really wanted to get a lot of command grabs, right? But Mok, I assume it's because they have a lot of experience against each other. Mok just kind of scouted it out every single time. He didn't bite on a lot of Punko's like crazy signature DPs either, right?
He didn't take those. All I'm gonna say is this: Gato, open your eyes. That kid was jumping all over. He was bird watching so many situations where the double jumps really just took advantage of.
Blow was also such a thorn in his side.
Look at that right there! I'm telling you, bro.
That was
Don't know where he's coming from.
That was unseeable, man.
Unseeable, man. Gato, you got to do it. But I mean, Mook's gonna advance further on, and yeah, here's the matchup that we again, you know, a lot of us are fans of Geo here, but really, you could see here just having some issues in this Kind matchup, and Kind does really well against Hulk tomorrow as well.
Yeah, he does. I think in general, the game plan seems to be so far to smother the Hulk tomorrow player, not let him create space, not let him use his superior mobility to fluster you, and Kind is incredible at doing so. And there we go. That was a nice empty jump from the Geo.
How big of a deal is it in this matchup about access to having a reversal?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, very big deal. And it's one of the Hokutomaru's weaknesses. If he has no meter, he has no reversal.
Yeah, it's just hard to contain the kid.
Y pues se me fue dando poco a poco, varias gente me decía que era bueno y pues simplemente pues eran comentarios, ¿no? Nunca lo tomé así como que, ya quiero dedicarme a esto, no. Simplemente, obviamente pues se inicia perdiendo como en todo, pero pues no me afecta, al contrario, yo en cuanto más pierdo, más rápido aprendo y es en corto tiempo el aprendizaje. Sí, me enfoco más que nada en mi juego. Personalmente, independientemente de contra quién vaya, yo no bajo la guardia nunca. A lo que tengo que hacer, no me pongo nervioso que vas a un torneo y que no sabes quién te va a tocar o qué jugada te vayan a sacar. Decidido en mi objetivo y pues nada más. Han habido muchos comentarios de toda la gente que me ha visto crecer desde, como lo menciono, de la 2002. Así que yo veo que está todo México apoyándome y pues espero también.
Redemption in the lower bracket.
I've not only seen, but I've also commentated online tournaments where I've seen Dark Angel run it back 6 games and grand finals in a King of Fighters, which there's a lot of characters, a lot of time for adaptation. I think with that burning passion, right, to be here to represent Mexico on this stage, I think he hasn't forgotten about that. And this one small little issue right here could just get figured out by Dark Angel and he could succeed.
It's a small hiccup in what's going to be a great run for him. And I mean, in all honesty, just a great career. This kid's got a bright future. Even if he somehow goes down here, he'll be back next year.
I want to ask as well, this is definitely his first time on a stage of this scale. He went up to one of the most seasoned veterans when it comes to competitive fighting games in Kendu in this bracket. Do you think maybe the scale of the event might have got to him? Did he look like he was playing like his usual self?
There were some hiccups in his game, and Kendu's part of the Falcons. That whole stadium is full of Falcons fans
that's
cheering against him. The moment Kendu just raised his arms, you hear that whole crowd roaring. I don't know how can you deal with that?
We talk about like Dark Angel having this chance to compete on the stage. He doesn't travel much. He doesn't leave Mexico. So from what he's known, a lot of the people are cheering for him. They're rooting for him. He's on the other side of the world. He's dealing with Falcons. He's dealing with, like you mentioned, Kendu being so powerful and just a long-standing player. This is a lot of pressure for him to deliver on the level that he is. But I think he'll live up to that stage.
All right, it's nearly time to get into our qualification matches. So let's take a look first at Group A's qualification match, and this is going to be a doozy. Aru, I know you'll have a lot of insight into this one. It is Xiao Hai, everyone's favorite, against Chris G, who has managed already to overcome a Billy Kane challenge, but this one's going to be a completely different challenge, isn't it?
It certainly will. I mean, Xiao Hai, of course, known for being very strategic with his character choices, right? Everybody looks to his choices and tries to emulate his style. And Xiao Hai's ability, of course, is no different. Chris, I think his game plan is likely going to be to try to force the same close-up mix-ups, the same close-up situations that he was forcing against KOG, against Xiao Hai, see how he responds to them, rather than trying to out-neutral Xiao Hai, because Xiao Hai's neutral is just like, it's unbeatable, right?
Adapting, right, and really securing that bag against Reynold. I think we might see a two-peat with ZJZ. Like I said, Group B has something to prove, and I feel like out of all the players there, he's definitely the one who needs that full stamp of approval that I am here, I am ZJZ.
I feel like we haven't talked enough, though, about Fenrich and how strong he's looked coming into this tournament. The guy has looked almost untouchable. He basically only loses to, like, what, like Goichi and, like, Xiao Hai, in my mind.
And Kizzy K.
And Kizzy K, you're right. Shout out to Kizzy K.
Yeah.
Kizzy is definitely the kind slayer, man. My man's a specialist.
And he's looking incredibly confident as well on there on the stage. Yes. Let's take a look at Group C because we're going to be getting in all our upper bracket qualification matches tonight. And in Group C, of course, it is Fenrich's former teammate now with Detonation, Goichi, going up against Kendu. Representing
so strong, so dominant, and kind of as a character where, like, if you have a strong layer 1, you don't necessarily need to start thinking about the layer 2, layer 3 stuff. You can just keep forcing your stuff.
But Marco doesn't care about the layer 1. We got EX Tatsu, baby. Let it rip from the jump.
But then you're at the mercy of how well the other guy guesses, you know? And like, why give the other guy any out? Like, if he guesses right on your offensive, your mix-ups, then, like, you could get cooked.
It's possible, but I believe in Goichi. What about you, Gibby?
This is just two legendary players. I don't know who's gonna take this one. I'm gonna be honest. I'm rooting for Kendu. I've known the man for over 20 years now. I want to see him do well.
All right, one more group to go, and that is Group D. Let's take a look at that match coming up to close out today's action, and that is, of course, going to be Mock representing Falcons against RB. And what a great storyline this is. RB, as you pointed out, Aru, here with the support of his local community, crowdfunding his trip to qualify, his last opportunity to qualify, and he made it here. And here he is on the upper bracket, but he's going to go up against Moke, a very formidable opponent with that home crowd advantage behind him as well.
That's right, yeah. I mean, the RB story is definitely very compelling, so I'm looking forward to cheering for him personally. But of course, another Hope Tomorrow matchup is going to be a little bit difficult. He's got to catch the kid, he's got to open him up, and then do the damage. So it's going to be a tall order, I think.
Moke, a very fan favorite SNK player. I think some of us really want to see him do well, but I don't know. RB's strong.
I mean, I think there's a big chance that Moke does end up succeeding, right? Moke, we talk about RB's, way to get here. Moke, the final qualified player, right? Had to scratch and claw, traveled to a lot of events, didn't get it, finally got it when it counted. So he wants to make that stretch out as long as he can. He doesn't want to go to the losers right now.
4 incredible matches coming up, and we will be qualifying 4 players to the finals from this pool of 16 absolute killers. Coming up next, it's going to be Group A's upper bracket qualification match as Xiao Hai, the man looking to make history, faces off against NY Chris G, a man who is no stranger to toppling legends and icons. That is what we have to look forward to here in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves at the Esports World Cup, and that is coming up after this short break. We'll see you then.
Welcome back, everybody, to the stage here at the Amazon Arena. We're checking in 2/3 of the way through our day. We're a beautiful duo here, hosts Milosh and Hollywood Rob TV. Now, we had some great games, but if there's one that stood out for me, it's Goichi Nemo. Nail-biter 3-2. Barely getting across the line for Goichi.
That was phenomenal, and I gotta also make sure we give some love to my man Smoke from Team Falcons. He did take out Punko, which was extremely dope, and it shows your cachet don't mean nothing here, brother. All about what happens on the sticks. Now, what's about to happen next on the sticks, ladies and gentlemen, is what is most important, because whoever wins these next matches, they actually are going to qualify for top 8 winner side. That's a whole lot on the line.
It is a lot on the line, and even more so, you guarantee a minimum winnings of $45,000.
Hold on. 45,000?
How much?
45,000 US dollars? Are you crazy, brother? That's a whole lot of pay. That make Big Hollywood Bone shiver a little bit. And outside of that, there is another perk, right?
Yes, they get a day off tomorrow because you qualify one of the four out of the 8 in total that'll make it to those quarterfinals. You get to watch the games, practice, and get ready for Championship Saturday.
And I want everybody at home to get ready for what we have up for you guys next. It is about to be one of the marquee matchups. We got Xiao Hai going head-to-head with Chris G. The winner is in winner side top 8. Let's get into it.
And we are back with some of the matches. Like Rob said, the next 4 matches will decide who's going to be in that top 8. And if you guys are just tuning in, my voice is Justin Wong, and I'm here with the commentator himself, Jeremy Vicious Lopez. How are you feeling about these next matches here?
Very ecstatic. You know, we had this coming along the way just a bit ago when we established Group A, right? We had the 3 Billies versus the Lone Hope tomorrow.
Yes.
And we were wondering to ourselves, how in the heck is Chris G going to survive?
Man, Chris G was already talking about, he's like, man, dog, like, that's it for me. But look, guess what?
Before he even showed up to Saudi, he's like,
guess
you know what, dog?
He's in a position now where he can make it into the top 8 side, get the guaranteed 45,000 in this situation. But it's a tall order because you're fighting against a lot of people's favorite, Xiao Hai himself, who's also playing Billy now.
That's right, qualifying via Evo Japan, qualifying via CEO. He's been looking rather unstoppable, but let's give it a little bit of a, fine detail here. He did switch up to Billy not too long ago, so there might be a little bit of a chance, but just not in this round.
I mean, yeah, maybe not this round, but the thing about Xiao Hai is, like, he is a master of just playing characters in general. He's been playing longer than pretty much myself, right? Starting at a young age and able to just win tournaments and tournaments over and over. So picking a new character like Billy, especially a person that's super popular in the meta, this is not a big deal. And just like that, using that super right there to take out SPG and the shimmy right there from walking back.
Brother, that was at least 3 steps. Did you see how much animation was on that? And he still managed to force Chris G to make a pivotal error. And now, close to the point of no return, plus frames after that, using the Rev Art, the poke and go, I should say, the Pogo, there it is. Yet again, Chris G still finding the discipline to not press buttons in a bad situation up until that point. The walk back eventually getting checked by one of the longer reaching crouching normals in the game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are mentioning that crouching B goes so far, and every time that whole last just 15 seconds was just pressure, plus frames, plus frames, plus frames. But anytime you get hit by the Pogo into the pull-in, especially if it's the regular version, it is all...
He's still at 68%. The guard break could actually happen against Chris G. And hence why you see him getting torn to shreds at this moment. Chris G had no other option but to try to contest with the button.
Yeah, it's either contest the button or try to jump out and maybe make Xiao Hai mess up the combo, right?
Perhaps, yeah.
Right. So, but in a situation like that, Chris didn't have reversal, so he had to take that scenario.
You might as well have used the hidden gear, going back to what we were talking about, right?
Back to 0. But we're spending that guard cancel rev, 35% already spent on Chris's side. Again, 44, so Chris has to be careful in this scenario, especially against a character like Billy who can just rank up that rev on the opponent's side.
Successfully getting out of the way of the pressure. Xiao Hai tried to go for a Rev Art Pogo pull.
Oh my god,
no
nice!
No way, dude!
Good!
That is sick!
Yes, that was so good from Chris, realizing that he was trying to go for that Pogo, and we're going to get the hidden gear, and we're going to go back to 0 on the Rev side from Chris, and that killed, actually!
Hella killed, brother!
Oh my god!
I was about to say, that is raw, unfiltered damage.
Yeah, like, the fact that he was able to call that out, it was a scenario where it's like, that was maybe a one-time thing. You know, that was one of those things where you save it for the tank just to get that game on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wild punish with the crouching C. The crouching C is just so good from Billy right there. Look at the damage right here. Doesn't really need to spend any meter there. And he catches with the quick rise.
And gets to do it all over again. Only about 57% on the rev gauge.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do anything else. That's the power of Billy Kane. That is the damage output you can expect from this character.
Yeah, and it's also another thing with like Xiao Hai's like skill of just using the rev dash, right? Canceling rev dash in general, because Billy's one character, if you notice, some characters have runs, some characters have dashes, and you have to input a kind of like a command to kind of rev dash faster, and that is what Xiao Hai is doing right now.
You're essentially crouch canceling the rev guard. Is what it is, right? The JD coming from Chris G, trying to build up just a little bit of life for himself, or at least get himself that opening. That 2C is everything, getting the Tatsu Super.
Yeah, that was really good, because usually most people would spend the other Ignition Super, right? It does less damage compared to that version, so that was really good from Chris G to point that out, to take Xiao Hai out of SPG right here. And we're going to spend another Super to tie it out, the round, one round apiece. And this is such an important game. Like, going up 2-1 in this set is so important for both of them. Nice jump in, no anti-air from Xiao Hai, no high dodge attack. We're going to spend the bar, still an SPG for Chris, so Chris can use Rev Blow, and that cheeky overhead.
That was fine. That was totally fine. For the objective of getting somebody out of SPG, you know what? You got it.
He might be dead, actually. Yeah, if you spend the Ignition for the punch version, that maybe, oh, it's close.
Don't do overhead again. Oh, we called it.
Good call, but good block from Chris, but no matter what, he wasn't going to survive the barrage of chip damage there, right? Even if you held the Rev Guard, like, Rev Guard, yes, it nullifies the block damage and everything, but it increases the Rev Guard damage by so much. So it's so hard, especially with a character with Billy just multi-hitting specials, right?
Yeah, at this point, you want to try to, like, maybe comply with, like, a hyper defense back to JD. If but that's
tough.
Just so hard to do it in that clutch moment. In a moment like that, as
Sure.
we just saw multiple JDs, Chris can do it.
I mean, you got full life anyway, right? There's less to worry about in that scenario.
Yeah, less on the mental for sure.
Okay, Chris still in, and I love the bait right there. Nice. Sometimes you just have to not attack too much, especially against a character like Hokutomaru, who has the best rev blow, the best counter rev blow in the game. Okay, do we spend level 1 here? No, we're not going to spend it. Maybe a little bit too far, especially with the combo that he pushed out there. I love the fact that he's doing jump A. Jump A is just so good to kind of like lock characters down from air to air.
Yeah, and it's not even a jump forward A, right? It's just a neutral jump to maintain that space, and also if they land and nothing happens, Billy will still be in control.
Yeah, that's the type of character when it comes to long reach characters. Long reach characters gets these advantages, but the thing is,
twice in 1 year, and you know, once as reclaiming champion, returning champion. That is insane. KSG's very own Xiao Hai making huge and bold statements here thus far for City of the Wolves. But I will say, from the side of Chris G, there were some really shining and defining moments throughout the set.
No, there has been, right? Like, the thing is, like, sometimes I feel like he gets in his head a little bit too much, but once he gets the momentum started, once he's able to kind of like see that people get frustrated, that's where he shines, right? Because we saw him take down a Billy, we saw him take down Koji, but against like a person with like Xiao Hai of so much experience, it's so hard, right? That's the one thing that like Chris would have to worry about, but the thing is, he still has a shot. He's still in the lower bracket, and he's gonna have, you know, a day to think about, because which Billy is going to fight tomorrow?
Yeah, that's going to be the main problem, right? But big weaknesses of this character that's been highlighted over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
You see the Rev XL routes coming in from Billy, just going into, what is it, the level 2 super. It's just too much for Hokutomaru to even deal with.
The only way I can see Hokutomaru just kind of like go forward with this matchup is kind of like how kind players approach Hokutomaru eventually.
Yeah.
Rush down, smother the character. Billy's also another character that doesn't have reversal. So if you think about kind of like all the different type of plus frames Hokutomaru has, right? He can do like stand D feint, +3, stand D feint. Just keep abusing those scenarios and use the safe jumps, especially if you copy a person like Mach, who's really just so strong with the safe jumps. Like, it's hard for Billy to kind of like counter in a scenario. But you know, there's a lot of things we could talk about there, but we have to talk about this next match right here. Group B, right? Fenrich versus ZJZ. This one is insane because anytime we see Fenrich play, he only kind of loses to Xiao Hai. Like
that's right.
Right? Because in the beginning, he got second place at Evo Japan, and then he went to kind of like the next day at Brussels, the next event, and just wins that to qualify for just like EWC and SWC, right, as well. But ZJZ is also another person I would say, I would call him, he's Mr. Consistent, because he's always in top 8, but he just never got it far enough until, bam, when he finally succeeded to get that first place finish, right? So it took him a while to get there, but the thing is he made it. And he's also using a character that a lot of people thought was #1 in the game. And then maybe she's probably number 4, number 5, right? Hotaru herself.
That's your boo right there.
That is my boo.
That is the character you started off with. I don't know if you're still going to continue to play her.
I still play her.
Okay.
I still will play her too.
So I feel like this character selection is something really, really important to talk about because of the style that ZJZ likes to play, right?
Yes.
We talked about this even prior to the event starting. One of the more annoying play styles to play against is someone who's relatively risk-averse and really likes to disengage. Hotaru seems to be the perfect choice for that type of play style, right?
Yeah, she has, I would say, if you look on paper, everything. Amazing fireball. She can reflect projectiles as well too.
That's huge.
Right? Amazing combo routes. Hit confirmable from stand C. Great whiff punish buns in general. And also a command throws. And amazing cross-up. And also a heavy target combo that can cancel into specials. Not many characters can do target combos into specials. So on paper, she has everything that a character needs. But what I would say, the difference is why she's not shining as much compared to characters like Billy, Kain, Hokutomaru. I say she is a honest top tier.
Don't look at me when you say that.
Honest
Don't look at me when you say that, Justin.
You know, like she's still godlike. She's still in that category. But she's just honest. And look at Fenrich, the damage. Come on.
Okay.
You see the damage he's dishing out?
You're winning that argument only because Kain is on the screen right now.
Okay.
And that's a W you'll
But the thing
take,
is,
right?
I actually like this matchup. If I fought against a Kain player, I'm cool with fighting this matchup. The one thing I would say that it's kind of hard is obviously Kain can play the same play style against every character in the game.
That is fair.
You know?
Yeah. He doesn't need to change his routes, right? He doesn't need to change any sort of approach, right? As soon as he gets the knockdown, I think the rondo is going to be a big deal. Just running into it. Back-to-back 2Cs, huh?
Yeah, you have to think about also
you're hella dead.
How Fenrich is doing it. He's rev dashing in the 2C, so it makes his 2C even go farther, and it's kind of like harder to check because that's the button you're looking for to whiff, so you can whiff punish back as Hotaru.
Yeah, I mean, he got hit by both, brother. He even tried to back away. He didn't even try to backdash. He was just trying to walk away. So that's like one of the... Are you kidding me? Dude, that's the second time he did round start elbow.
I'm going to be honest with you, you can't stop that move. Like, it's one of those moves where you just have to just respect, and that's cool. Because if you think about it, if he just does round start rev dash, right, into rev flash kick, it puts him in 40% already. So I'm cool with that. You can skip neutral, but you have to spend resources to do that, and I'm cool with that. I feel like ZZ just needs to respect it and let him put himself in a 40% scenario where he has to fight after that.
I was going to say, there's no way he does it a third time, right?
He might as well.
He put up the stop sign. He did 2C.
Nice.
Starting to change the opening gambit a little bit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that is so detrimental to your meter and your health bar, brother.
Yeah, I wonder if he did the wrong super possibly, because that super does not have strike invo frames in that scenario. Nice, using the target combo. Again, the dash. And I like the fact that he didn't cancel the red flash kick because it's really expensive to do. Okay, spends the combo, spends the hard knockdown.
Double rondo.
Yep.
Extra block strings on that. Let the orb out. Still plus. A lot more pressure coming in from both stand C, close stand C.
Okay. Nice. Again, didn't challenge. And that's going to be the hit confirm. And that's going to deal with the round for sure. ZJC is going to need to spend the super there.
Yeah,
he had to because he was in overheat, right?
Exactly that. But it's not too bad. Like, spending a level 1, getting the ignition super for the round ender, that is totally fine, because look at how much bar he has going into the next round. I think being able to stock at least 1 is fine. If he's able to get started, which he is, the first time ZJZ has been able to open up Fenrich at the start of the round. SPG still intact as well. We're going to spend that. Ignition super. Look at the damage already.
We're going to see a rev command throw. No, Fenrich is like, get out of here. I need to let it rip sometimes. Good guard cancel.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and he tried there. He tried to command throw, but Fenrich just let it rip again.
Again and again. Oh, luckily enough, ZJZ doesn't have to worry about the orb. Yo, just keep uppercutting through the strings right now. Yo,
oh my God. It's good. Just run it, right? Run out of it.
The run past the body is actually kind of funny.
But the thing is, Fenrich was able to call out that he was going to throw a fireball and get some jump. Oh, that was mixed.
That was super mixed.
That was mixed.
No.
The reason why, I want to say, the reason why that worked is because ZJZ thought it was going to be a cross-up because he got cross-up the first
time, and then it felt like a double short hop, but it wasn't, right?
It was a regular first jump, which will guarantee the cross-up. But the thing is, if you hop, jump, if you hop, jump, you cannot be a cross-up. It's always same side.
Yeah.
So ZJZ was just kind of like, he's like, it's going to be a double cross-up, but it wasn't.
No, that's just unfortunate. Really unlucky.
Yeah, nice. Presses up button. Okay. Yep, spends that. Goes for regular. Fenrich able to roll out in that scenario. I love that. Bend the neutral. Ooh, the high dodge attack! What did you hit?
Whatever it was, as long as you follow it with something cancelable, you're experiencing heavy damage. So Fenrich, what a call out and what a read. That's something we haven't seen in a minute, actually.
Yeah.
Just raw call out with high dodge?
Yeah, raw call out, high dodge there. And also, that last round was so good for Fenrich. Oh, I think that maybe that was an input error for that super, but it kind of worked out anyway because Fenrich got the first hit and also took out ZZ out of SPG, right? And that's a huge combo into the counter hit stand D there. And it's going to maybe spend a bar here. He's not dead, but it's very, very close. Look at that, Mr. Optimal. That, I feel like a lot of people don't realize how optimal Fenrich is. He is Mr. Optimal, and
damn, he took Machibo's name.
Dude, this is Mr. Optimal here, and I remember when the analyst desk, the studio guys, they were talking about how, like, he has been looking unstoppable. Like, no sweat, no kind of like scenarios where it's like, maybe he's going to lose. And that was an easy closeout of Fenrich moving on to Saturday's finals into the top 8.
Yeah, it's a play against possibly one of the players that does happen to give like a little bit of a tarnish towards his record, right? He's going to be in the same realm as Xiao Hai.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to see who's going to make it. Obviously, we're going to see the rest of the people qualifying. 2 more matches for today. And then the last 4 qualifiers for tomorrow. Is a lot of matches still when it comes to Fatal Fury Seed Wolves at EWC.
Let's talk about this pressure real quick from Fenrich, right? Like, this isn't something that's going to be anything extraordinary, really. That's something you're going to see throughout every single matchup. Every character is going to be experiencing the same exact destruction and frame traps included. What is ZJZ supposed to do about this, right? He has to rely on guard cancels, no?
He has been doing guard cancels, but the problem is guard cancel is so expensive. It costs 17% to just guard cancel DP, right? Just in general. So, and the thing is, it doesn't cause hard knockdown because it's a regular move and it's not rev. It's not a rev art.
That's right.
Right. So because of that, you're able to kind of escape in those scenarios, and it's not really causing a threat. It's not doing anything to Fenrich to kind of stop his offense. But the one thing that I would say Fenrich's offense is so strong compared to other Kind players, he makes sure that if he hits you, it's going to really hurt. It's always the most optimal damage possible, right? Sometimes every time I watch Fenrich play any game, I'm just like, he's not dead yet. There's no way, but he dies.
Yeah.
Right? So that's his specialty.
I will agree with you there. And what better character than Kind to kind of utilize that strength of his, being able to calculate the damage depending on the scenario, which is kind of interesting to see. Now we have Goichi and Kendu up on the stage because you'll be seeing pretty similar trains of thought, pretty similar damage outputs, all considering it might be the Kind mirror match.
That's the crazy part, because when you think about the road to EWC, how did these two players get here, right? Goichi did not qualify with Kind. He qualified with Marco. Same thing with Kendu. He did not qualify with Kind. He qualified with Hotaru, right? And now here, at least from their first matches that they played, right, in the group stage, they only played Kind so far. And I feel like this is a tough matchup for Kendu, because when you think about who Goichi trained with, who's the person that he only loses to, it's against Fenrich. So you would think that he would have the ultimate experience fighting against the most optimal Kind player out there in a mirror match.
There's, we talk about like the generation of players that we have here on the stage, right? I feel like Kendu would be accustomed to that, right? I feel like he stepped up to the challenge a bunch. Him switching over to Kind should be like a testament to that.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see where you're coming with that, just because Kendu's been playing like forever. He's been playing since 2002.
Yeah, in comparison to Goichi, like, granted, we're not taking away from his skill. Like, he is like the player here that has probably the best defense out of the entirety of the group.
Yes.
But how much is that defense going to stack up against someone who's had decades of experience in a multitude of different fighting games that most people haven't even played or heard of before?
And also, I'm pretty sure Kendu has played way more mirror matches than Goichi.
That's
from all the fighting games that he has played, right? So he does have the experience and everything. It just really comes down to how seasoned is your kind, right? Because they both are, I would say, kind of like new to the kind. Like, we know them for different characters and different reasons, right? So like when you think about Goichi, once he qualified, he just went into the lab. So he probably has more kind lab experience compared to Kendu, who just like freshly qualified from BAM and then maybe started just playing kind of recently.
Yeah, that's already off to a great start, Goichi.
I'm telling you, it's hard
proving
knockdown.
your proving your comment right.
Oh, look at this. Oh, but the wild
did you
punish,
see
though.
that? The
Yeah.
5B getting destroyed. Ankles broken all over. But you know what? We like the wake-up uppercut.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just gotta let it rip. The one thing that I think that showed me right there was like, in terms of the ground game right here, I think Kendu will have more of a big success of getting wild punish.
How did that even come out?
It might have been an import error just doing rev dash, and trying to do like 2C afterwards. So it might have caught his input. Okay,
Not
Goichi.
a bad recovery. Like, you would think to yourself, like, after 2 big wild punishes against you, you would think maybe, like, damn. Like
It's over, right?
God,
The round's over in that scenario. The thing about Goichi, like you mentioned, Goichi, best defense probably throughout this whole entire tournament in general. So I feel like he's willing to just take the throw, willing to not flinch, and willing to just kind of just block it out, right? Okay, Goichi still have SPG double rondo bait out on the flash kick right there, and that's gonna be it. Goichi, game number 1.
I love the efficiency of the round ender too. He let the orb rock and it killed on the final hit.
Yes,
that is pretty efficient.
It is very efficient. I really want to see Kendu pick Hotaru. I feel like he would have a way much easier time. Because like mirror matches in general, it's just so tough because you know what the other person, how they would escape in that scenario.
Well, let me ask you, like, let's say Kendu does happen to switch off to Hotaru. What happens if Goichi switches off to Marco?
I don't think he would.
You don't think he would?
I like Hotaru
really
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, the wild punish. Because that's the thing, like, he's getting these wild punish. He's winning, like, the whiff punish game, right? And I think, like, Kind's a character that doesn't get too much from it. Like, he does get a lot. But when you have a character like Hotaru, she can do way more than that.
Yeah. I mean, as you said it, Kendu still locked down that round regardless. Without having to use too much of the rev arts, right?
Nice.
Still managing to get, like, the dash forward into the fireball extender. That's actually mad tricky.
Oh, my God. Look at this. Kendu doing good. Spends only 1 bar. I'm surprised he didn't do the double bar combo. And this time, he actually used the Rev Rondo, which is an interesting choice there. Because look at that. Now he's put himself in overheat because of that. Yep. Dash attack right there with the Rev. Goes for the hard knockdown. Kendu, he's going to break your guard if you don't wake up with something. It's going to be broken? No. It's like a pixel. Uh-oh. Is it enough,
This isn't too bad, though. This is not too bad for Kendu. I think he's going to be big living. But he's going to be off of one more mix-up. It's off of the Rondo. Rev guard above. Nothing to worry about below.
Yep.
There's the orb yet again. He tried to hyper defend.
No, that's so hard to hyper defense in that scenario right there. Okay, I like that. Oh my God, Goichi, did you just do that? He hyper defense into guard cancel flash kick. That was insane right there. We're talking about defense. Still, Kendu still just close out the round here. 1-1.
Absolutely wild to see it. But you're starting to see the relentless comebacks, the relentless pressure that both these players are under just based off of the player camp. It's actually quite hilarious. But at the same time, you're starting to see the adaptations being made, right?
Yes.
Years and years, decades of experience, really starting to pull through for someone like Kendu.
No, that production, I need that replay of that. That was so beautiful. The fact that he hyper defense, guard cancel, flash kick lives rent-free in my head still. Okay, that's so good right there. Nice little combo in that scenario. Again, the challenge from Goichi for the defense. Oh, Kendu able to flash kick, but still gets blocked out of it. He's going to spend the bar here. I don't think it's going to be enough. It's close. It actually will be enough. The double orb, the optimal city, Goichi.
It's kind of wild to see it, man. It's been purely back and forth between these two competitors. And you know what? I feel like it's making the Kind mirror match a little bit more interesting.
No, dude, they are, especially like, I feel like Goichi in terms of like his offense or his defense, it's really been showing. But Kendu just guessing right and winning kind of like the whiff punish game, you could kind of like tell the 2 different styles that they both have. Okay, nice.
Goes on to see And I love that jump reset out from the side of Goichi as well. Not being forced to handle the orb, not being forced to put himself into overheat,
yes. Right? Uh-oh, and that's going to be it for Goichi right there. 2-1, taking the lead in the scenario. And the thing is, this is pretty competitive still. No matter what, I feel like Kendu does have a shot to make a comeback here. Okay, Goichi kind of like thinking about like, what should I do in this scenario? And he's like, all right, we're good. We are completely fine here. Ooh, okay, I like the neutral jump B. Again, they're using a lot of the Bs in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of a safer approach.
Yeah,
right?
safer approach. Kind of like air to air in a lot of these things where he's like, okay, if I can air to air and knock you down, then it's my turn. And speaking of another guard cancel and defensive mechanics, Goichi is able to take it again. Plus frames after the target combo. What's going to happen here? How's Kendu going to strike back? Because I don't think either of them want to lose their SPG.
That was a little bit of a clean opener too with the jump D, but I feel like it was at an awkward angle where he wasn't plus enough to continue on with a heavy. That is a huge wild punish going into the orb as well. Close the gap, set up the rondo as well, and now the guard break can happen unless Kendu lets it all hang out loose.
I mean, look at that. Both of them are in overheat state, so I think in this scenario, whoever can kind of lock down whoever each other first is going to be the victor. Goichi tried to let it rip. Kendu was able to bait out, drops the combo. He thought maybe he could spend the rev, but the thing is he's still in overheat, but he cooled down anyway.
Oh, that's it. It should be enough.
Yeah, I
he's
think
out of overheat. He's got the orb. He can extend the combo if need be. It's the people's elbow coming on in there.
That was really crazy.
That was sick.
That was really sick. That was so sick because on both sides, like obviously Kendu finished the combo. Goichi flash kicking through the super was really cool because it's like if Kendu did dash, the flash kick would have connected actually. So big shout out to Kendu for just like realizing to chill out, let the orb do the magic.
Yeah.
Okay, no guard cancel from the 2C in that scenario there from Goichi, just blocking it all. And the thing is, Kendu, look at his rev, it's so high. So if he blocks 1-2C into super, he's in overheat, but he overheats himself in his own terms.
Oh, not able to really extend off of the rondo connection, but the orb, I feel like that's just more so to keep Goichi off from
oh my god,
offense.
that was so sick for Goichi right there. Defensive mechanics just defend, able to just defend the fireball and the pop at the same time. Okay. Yes, using the 2A, the super, gets the guard break. Wow, Goichi was able to smell that.
That was mad optimal too. Having the elbow be the one to break the glass and also be up close for the heavy continuation. Kendu now a little bit under fire. The wild punish coming in for the jump D. Goichi, man, that guy is feeling it. I have no idea what.
Dude, that guy was.
What
he's
he's
like,
going
oh
through
my
right now,
god.
but I'm glad I'm not that guy. I'll tell you what.
But the thing is, Kendu does have bar all, but he's not going to be able to use the hitting gear at this point. Even from he has 2 meters, he has to kind of rely on the double super combo now in this scenario. Okay, yeah, spend the block string. Goichi keeping the pressure. Again, the early jump D doesn't get a combo from it, but it's kind of more like a stop sign, kind of more like I'm gonna steal my turn in the scenario here.
Yeah, Kendu completely under fire right now. He has to make it out. Okay, well, you know what? That entire statement down the drain as soon as Goichi was able to thread the needle past the offensive pressure that was potentially going to come out of Kendu.
Dude, that was so good because the whole time, Goichi is doing early hop jump D, right? To kind of like stop Kendu from pressing buttons, and it's been working so much because you don't get a combo from there unless it's a wild punish. Kendu tried to retaliate, but Goichi stand blocked in that scenario and used his target combo, which is a 4-frame starter, to punish that jump in right there and able to go in the top 8. Goichi, he's one of those guys that's just like, when it comes to defensive decisions, nobody's on his level. Nobody.
Not at all. We had prefaced that before the match even started. You had seen the highlights of it, which will probably be showing from the replay side. There are just so many defensive decisions that can come up in certain scenarios, and Goichi always happens to pick the one that yields the highest success rate.
Man, you know what's the crazy part? So obviously, so far we have Group A done, Group B done, Group C done. The top 3 players in the top 8 bracket so far, right? Three out of 4. These are the 3 players that were showing the dominance since day 1.
That is a fact.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see that the consistency still holds strong, still holds true, right? So it's really good to see, and I'm excited to see like what's their counters when eventually they possibly might fight against each other. You know, we're still gonna have like the fourth match from Group D, right? And that's going to be another qualifier on that end right there. But the fact that this match also kind of like went to the distance, right? And Kendu kind of like showed, like, even though he's played fighting games since like 2002 and everything, or maybe even before that, he's still able to kind of like contest and play in like a high stakes like EWC, right? When it comes down to it, this might be the biggest stage that he has participated in.
I think you might be right on that one because he has been in a pretty long hiatus away from competitive fighting games.
Yes.
I mean, it's not to say that he wasn't playing them. It's just a matter of him traveling out to them outside of Japan. Right. You can see the immense respect coming in from Goichi, holding Kendu in such high regard to make that handshake happen. The reverence and the sportsmanship. Top notch and top class. Coming up next, RB versus Monk.
Yeah, and so I feel like because RB took down the Geo from in his first match with Kine, we're probably going to see Kine against Mach, right? We're not going to see the Gato that RB did qualify with at Combo Breaker. And Mach, I mean, he qualified at the last spot. The last spot, right before EWC, he qualified in China, right?
The SNK Championship Series in Beijing.
Exactly. And he also, man, he eliminated me as CEO.
Yes, how you feel?
Yeah, he eliminated me.
Oh, no.
He's so good with this character. It's insane, right? I think the biggest difference that we're going to see here is how is RB going to handle someone that I would say is more just technical. Like the Geo, I feel like has a lot more instincts, right? But the Mach has all the safe jumps, all the different type of setups, and look at the crowd. You have Falcons are just cheering for Mach because technically, if you think about it, this is the last player that's still in winner's side.
True, that's right. Yeah, we have one more slot to fill to get ourselves half ready for top 8. Then the rest, it's going to be a bloodbath going in for tomorrow.
Oh my God.
It's going to be elimination
It's going to be
day.
insane. Elimination day and then also qualifier day to set up the stage for our top 8 right here. But I'm really curious to see, like, is RB going to run the same game plan that he did against the Geo? Because it might not work against a person like Mach just because of just like, I feel like he has a lot more stuff in the lab. He has a lot more
experience
tech.
against Kine.
Right.
Right.
He has a lot more things where, like, if I knock you down, you can't do XYZ.
In regards to the Hulk tomorrows we've seen today, I feel like in regards to execution and landing some of these safe jump setups, I feel like Mach has been the cleanest.
Yes, 1,000%. You're right. 1,000% the cleanest. But the thing about RB, the one thing he's really good at is he's also kind of like a wild, unpredictable player. So you don't know if he's going to let it rip, if he's going to guard cancel flash kick, if he's going to just wake up super, right? You can't really tell in this, especially with a character that can just do all these different type of tools. So it really comes down to, like, if Mach's able to kind of like read the pattern. And he was able to read Punko, right? Especially with his like kind of like command throws, but against a character like Kine, in terms of like his offense, able to smother a character like Hokutomaru, that's the hardest part. And we're gonna spend this bar here
100%.
in RB. Look at the damage.
Can I be honest with you, Justin?
Yes.
It's as if I'm watching a video, a tutorial on how to maximize your damage with Kine.
Dude, they're
the way
so
RB
good.
is playing, dude, it feels that way right now.
Yeah. But the thing is, look at Mach catching the backdash right there, able to get the wild punish into the 2C, into the rev blow, and the backdash right there.
Read.
That's a hard read to do, right? Because the thing is, backdash does beat lows. But if Mach starts doing just close 5A will beat the backdash attempt.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of
Nice.
sense. But RB, again, being able to stay unpredictable both on offense and on defense. Very, very important, as you had mentioned.
Oh
this
my
is gonna
God.
be so destructive.
It's so
He might be
close.
dead. Overhead. No, it's going to be Rondo first. And waiting with the rev guard so patiently. He's willing to spin the bar.
Yeah, that was tough.
Man.
That was really good on RB's part, knowing that Mach has super suspend, right? He's like, okay, the only way for you to win here is if you let it rip, right? And he's able to call it out. RB was able to kind of like control his wild side and able to just like try to like seal the deal right there. Look at that, catching the backdash attempt in that scenario. Okay, RB get the hard knockdown, sets a Rondo afterwards. Ooh, nice rev blow right there.
So the wild punish coming in from RB based off of that wake up flash kick, I should say.
Yeah.
Damn, on the other
Wow,
side! That close C just swinging a whiff.
Yeah, that's so interesting to get that wild punish in the scenario. We're gonna go up. Yes, we're gonna get the max damage in the scenario. Again, look at that safe jump in that scenario, going for the low. And another one. But the thing is, RB was able to call out with the back, that just forward dash out of the corner.
And that's so tough, too. Kind being higher stature, I feel like you're susceptible to more of the cross-ups and the really ambiguous stuff in the corner.
Yeah. It's one of those things where the character Okudomaru, his jump B, it has such a big hitbox where literally the cross-up or non-cross-up can always hit no matter where. It's never going to not hit. That's the thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be enough, actually. Mock's going to spend all the bar right here. Goes into level 1. 1-to-1 right there. I'm pretty sure the arena is going to go crazy where Mock just tied it up against RB. Man, I'm kind of like, yeah, you see, look at the crowd. They're going hype. They're going hype. The green, the flags.
The camaraderie.
Yeah, it's so good.
Kind of cool. Low-key, I think I might want to, like, maybe cheer on in that exact section here.
Yeah, it's sick.
Just to do it. Not to show bias, but just to be like one with the crowd.
No, it's actually pretty cool. It's making me a huge fan, seeing just like so many people coming and watching the games, just like cheer their player on, right? That's the really cool part, because the Falcons, I mean, they're the defending team champions. When you think about it, right, from last year.
That's fair, yeah. Looking into the gameplay itself, right, we're starting to see RB, I feel like, falter a little bit more towards the speed that Mock is playing against, right?
Yeah, I think so as well, too. And I think the one thing that RB does a lot, he likes to challenge with jumps or backdashes a little bit, maybe too much. And Mock's able to kind of like keep it tight, right? Oh, but the counter hit grabs out the mash rev blow, though. There it is. But guard cancel right there. The thing is, that's 35% every time, and that's the reason why you're overheated. It's expensive. Okay, sparks a Rondo again with the high knock attack.
Punishment air as well, still within the juggle state.
Oh, again. Nice combo.
That was sick.
Yes, that was so good. Okay, good challenge right here. It's not going to be enough to kill from the 4-frame. What is RB going to do? I mean, if he gets a 2C, and Mock was able to cool down here, so he's going to probably close out the round. He did. Yes, he did.
Hits him with the mid-air.
The shuriken?
Yeah, man. I like the sounds that like Okudomaru makes off with like the heavy shuriken.
Yeah, no, it's a really good sound effect right there. Okay, goes for the throw. Yeah, safe jump, nice backdash against the low right there. Gets the wild punish from RB. Do we hit in gear or what are we doing? No, we're going for the hard knockdown. We want to get the OK set up. Wake up super on Mock's side. Just going to challenge in a scenario.
That was tricky on the same side as well. You talked about the ambiguity of the jump B. Well, Mock has so many ways to divert your attention away from the regular jump D.
Oh my god, again, the wild punish jump D, because Mock's really, the one thing that he is shining a lot, he's calling out these throws. Every time there has been a throw attempt, even if it's from Punko or RB so far, he's hop jumping through them, right? Because the thing is, it's so scary to throw people in this game, because what if they backdash? What if they hop jump? Then you just lose 50% of your life every single time. See, the reason why Mock's getting these throws, because he's going for these hop jumps. He's going for these 50-50s where it's hard for RB to make a decision.
Yeah, and even when he lets off the gas, he waits on players' intuition to throw out some of these 2Bs or 5Cs. Right?
Yes. Look at that Mock, just like that. With his just kind of like tight offense, he's at match point. Literally one round away to give Falcons somebody into the top 8.
And that's a pretty huge statement to make. Oh, he's banking on RB, trying to delay buttons now.
Yeah, delay buttons, maybe even go for a throw attempt in that scenario. Oh, there it is. That's the one thing where kind players hate when fighting against Okudomaru. Can't use projectiles. Anytime you see a projectile on the screen, it's a guaranteed rev teleport.
And what a run under against the second jump from the side of Mock. Okay. RB now laying it down. A couple of heavies running wild. We get the double fireball, make it a third. People's elbow into the flash kick. Let me get the kick super.
Yes.
Set up Rondo.
Set up the Rondo like you said, but misses the flash kick right there, but gets the dash under to get the trip guard scenario.
Damn.
Still alive. RB, can he tie it up 2-2 here? SPG. Oh my god, that SPG is gone.
Out of there, crumbled before my ambition. Set up the Rondo. Jumping out of the way is Mock, no longer having to fear the mix-up. Now he's on the offensive, but RB multiple backdashes just to reset the momentum.
Yeah, Ooh, I like the air-to-air. And also the dash on it. That is the optimum punish. That's how you punish that Rev teleport right there. And just like that, RB 2-2. And that's not an easy thing to do.
Not at all.
Right? Because that Rev teleport is fast. Right? It's fast. It's also plus on block. You can combo afterwards. So the fact that he was ready with his forward dash and getting the close D, that was godlike because he got the optimal punish as well too.
Yeah, you have to make sure that you're in the right position at first to make that call.
Yeah.
Right? If you're too far out, you're dashing right into the follow-up attack.
Yes.
So knowing full well when to utilize that tactic, and I've seen that Twitter clip before. I've had it bookmarked for weeks now. You had to, again, put yourself in the right position at the very beginning, and that is very, very impressive.
Yeah. The one thing I would love to see Mach do a lot more, we haven't seen too much, he's been using a lot of stand Cs. I want to see more stand Ds. Stand D feint puts him in a scenario where he's +3 on block. So I feel like there's a lot of times where you kind of like stand D, feint, walk up, stand D, feint again. Just kind of like steal turns and also crank up the rev gauge, because a character like Kind, who spends so much rev in general, that might help you in future scenarios where you could put him potentially in overheat. So
I thought he might have been doing that like maybe in the earlier stages of this set, but maybe he could start to use it a little bit more, right? But it's just a matter of catching Mach on the ground first.
Yes. Uh-oh, here we go. Nice. Mach's doing a great job right here. Gets the hard knockdown into the rev blow. Again, look, he tried to catch the backdash, but RB did not bite, and that's why he's able to... Oh, I'm surprised he pressed the button. I thought he blocked that.
Oh, and it's crumbling all before RB.
Safe jumps, man.
He's got to be feeling really great, at least securing that round in that fashion.
Yes.
Forcing RB to crumble.
Oh, again, surprise into a wild punish though. Oh no, he dropped the combo. He pressed sweep instead of standing D. That's unfortunate, and that's huge because he takes him out of SPG here. Plus frames in the scenario. Okay. Again, using the pressure of the stand C feint. Again, that's plus frames, and RB had to make an executive decision of just letting it rip.
That's right.
Okay,
the jump
nice.
Reset, perfect for Mach. Just defending the rest of that orb. Getting some of that life back.
Uh-oh, but look at the overheat, and he's plus frame there. Yeah, he's definitely gonna guard break here. He can't stop that. Oh, but that's actually not too bad. Mach's willing to take this because now he's back on cooldown. He didn't take too much life in that scenario. That's huge. Spend level 1. Yup, guess for game here. It's gonna be empty jump low. Oh no, it's standing low, catching the backdash.
That was right. That was standing B. Being able to link off of that is his main starter to get into the heavy links. That was such a call out against RB's backdash. Good eye, Justin.
Oh,
also more impressive on the side of Mach, right? He did a normal where the active frames wouldn't come out in time to catch the character standing.
Yes.
That was actually the big seller.
That was so good, right? Like the fact that Mach's offense, he just kept it tight the whole entire time and was able to just kind of like not give RB so many opportunities to do wake up flash kick, wake up supers, like not much, right? The only way you would have been able to stop that is if you did like just defend, guard, cancel into 0 frame, which is not easy to do.
No.
And because of that,
not at all.
Mach, right? Because of that, Mach winners in getting that spot. Also, Team Falcons on the board.
Very impressive showing. I'm telling you, man, Mach easily one of the cleanest Hokutomarus that we could expect, not even just at EWC, but in the realm of Fatal Fury currently. And we're starting to, man, really start to shake up the standings in regards to what top 8 is looking like with our first 4 competitors.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see a lot more matches tomorrow. Obviously, there's going to be eliminations, and there's going to be qualifiers. But that's going to be all the matches for today.
It's wild that it's already been this far out into today's competition, but this is just a sample, right? Like this is the current standings of where the players are at mentally on an executional level and in terms of the character variety, right? We came in with our expectations. There have been a couple of surprises, but I can guarantee you going into the next couple of days of action, you'll be seeing a lot more surprises with some of these players and interactions.
Yeah, I want to see more matches. I'm excited for tomorrow because, you know, these players that are in it, you know, these players that are in the lower bracket, they're gonna go to sleep thinking, my life is on the line. I have nothing. I cannot lose one more match. Like if I win the next matches, next 2 matches, or even the next 1 match, right? Everything resets.
Truly.
Everything is back to square one, even the people that did qualify, right? Because it's going to be a first to 5 single elimination, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to see more matches, more sweaty games, and also just more of the players.
Yeah, and with everything in terms of the research and the characters that have been set in stone, I want to see what the adaptations are going into the next round of eliminations and qualifications, right? So in that regard, we're going to save it all for tomorrow, and instead we're going to throw it down to the stage host to finish up our day one. Take it away, Rob and Milos.
And that is how you kick things off right here with Fatal Fury at EWC. That was absolutely insane. And officially, we went through all of our first winner side matches. How ridiculous was that, Milos?
I mean, overall, we had some incredible games today, I have to say. And this does guarantee, especially with our final 4 matches, for players that move up through the upper bracket and just get a day off. Tomorrow, they make it over to Saturday, and that's Xiao Hai, Fenrich, Goichi, and as you saw in our final matchup, Mock.
How about that? Xiao Hai versus Chris G. That was absolutely ridiculous. We know that Xiao Hai's the favorite here, at least on paper. Even though the game, as they say, is not played on paper, he is living up to the hype so far. That said, I am hyped for you guys to make sure you are sticking around after this, because we're going to be getting straight to the EWC opening ceremony. We've got Dino of 17, we've got Duckworth, and of course, the Word Alive, and even more. You guys do not want to miss it. Stay right here.
There's a lot of action coming to us and to you, really, tomorrow here, Fatal Fury at the Esports World Cup. But for now, I think we should all bask in the light. That's been all from myself, Milos, and of course, Mr. Rob Holiday TV, Hollywood TV. We have more action coming for you. Let's kick it off and end our day. EWC starts just now.
Fan. Yeah. He's my favorite player of all time. Dallas Cowboys quarterback. He played a lot of D-line against Tony Romo. Chased him a lot, beat the Cowboys a lot, and won 2 Super Bowls in the same division as the Cowboys. So it's kind of like, you know, a little bit of beef between us. But I didn't fight for the team. But if the Cowboys were to win, I'd be like, well, we won. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So,
they haven't won in a long time. It's been a long time.
You don't got to tell me. I already know this, man, okay? 30 years.
Tyler's brought the guns as well to this as well. So a little bit intimidating right now.
Yeah, I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym.
But I will say this, though, Ian. Since I've been here, I have noticed those similarities.
Yeah.
It's not really as different as most people think. The things that are necessary to win